seasoned to perfection? Then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Woes bird dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Woes bird dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or a 2 bird dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Woes bird dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time. It's time to shop sparkling deals. It's Bailey's Fine Jewelry's multi-million-dollar inventory reduction sale. Hurry in because the big sale ends this Saturday. Diamonds, watches, earrings, bracelets, necklaces, and rings are all on sale. The perfect time to shop for Mother's Day, anniversary, or engagement rings without breaking the bank. Shop the largest selection of luxury jewelry for less at Bailey's Big Sale. Learn more at BaileyBox.com.
Attention soccer fans, North Carolina FC invites you to be part of the excitement. Join us in our electrifying games with top-tier players, thrilling goals, and unforgettable moments. Experience the thrill of this beautiful game with North Carolina FC. Get your tickets now, northcarolinafc.com.
If you want to save time and money and make your life better, Dr. Lori Travers at Travers LASIK is exactly what you contact lens wearers have been looking for. 20/20 vision awaits. 5 minutes per eye, 919-510-6830. Dr. Lori Travers is the only LASIK specialist in the Triangle. You can get the consultation for free. Go to TraversLASIK.com. Travers LASIK. And right now you can save $1,000. Travers LASIK. See what you've been missing.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Looking at an afternoon with some scattered thunderstorms yet again. Mid to late afternoon, we could see some strong thunderstorms down in our southern counties. So we do have a level 2 risk there, and it's a WRAL weather alert day. Elsewhere, just some scattered storms with the potential for some wind damage. 81 for the afternoon high. We cool off tonight down into the low to mid 50s under clear skies, and a pretty Mother's Day weekend in our forecast. Highs will be in the mid to upper 70s with low humidity and lots of sun.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. The Dow Jones up 104 points at 39,492. Market update brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities. This hour of the drive brought to you by the Body Armor State Games, coming to Charlotte this June. North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Here it comes. The chorus is the theme here, right?
Yes, it is.
It's coming, everybody. We can sympathize.
Go ahead, start wiping your eyes a little bit. Start banging your steering wheel.
Sing along if you want to.
This is what happened when Adobe messes up right at the top of the show. Here we go.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Canes lost in overtime again. The power play was bad again. They're facing an 0-3 hole in the second round of a Stanley Cup or bust season. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be disappointed.
Oh, we are.
It's okay to lash out appropriately. Don't damage any property. Don't insult anybody else. But it's okay. It's okay to be upset. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly. Graham Hill here producing the show. Dennis got an early jump on the weekend, and I'm sure many want to.
Maybe he just didn't want to come in because of the game. Who knows? I mean, I don't blame him.
There's probably a lot of people calling in sick about 10 o'clock last night. You know what? I don't want to go into work tomorrow. And do you know what I'm here for? I'm here to walk back some of the actually. We talk about the actually, right? Some of the we lost, but actually we played well. Some of the Canes lost in overtime again, but they've all been one goal or less games, right? One goal in regulation or less, one goal or overtime. Rod Brindamore did a little bit of that after the game last night. Here's the coach.
Well, I mean, we're not executing very well, and you got to give them credit. They're doing a great job on the kill. We did have, I thought the first 2.5 power plays were actually quite good. We got a lot of good looks, and then gave up that shorty, and then I thought we just kind of got away from what we were originally trying to do. And obviously it's 3 games in a row, same story. Which I hate it for the guys because we're playing really well. You take that part of it out of it, it's I've done everything that we've asked the guys to do.
This is going to sound crazy. Playing well doesn't matter. Not in that sense. Not in that wording. Playing well doesn't matter. There's one kind of playing well that matters. Playing well enough to win is all that matters in the postseason. I've seen so many. The Canes are outplaying the Rangers except. Canes are outplaying the Rangers except for special teams. Canes are outplaying the Rangers except for the power play. The Canes are outplaying the Rangers except for Igor Shesterkin. The Canes are outplaying the Rangers except. There is no except. The Canes are not outplaying the Rangers in the only way it matters, which is the final score. I'm tired of hearing about how the margin for error is so small in the postseason, and the Canes are doing this well and that well and the other thing well. The fact of the matter is, yes, the margin of error for the postseason is very, very small. You know that before the postseason begins, and the best teams find a way to tilt that small margin of error in your own favor. You don't take bad penalties. You don't take poorly timed penalties. You win in the special teams. Your stars make the one more big play. The Stars don't have their great plays wasted. I thought Skjei was great yesterday.
I thought Skjei played his best game. I'm not just of the series, but the entire playoff series and maybe the whole season.
I mean, you can go back months. I'll agree with that. Jake Guentzel, again, playoff Guentzel, 3 goals in the last 2 games. Those outputs, they're good for the offseason when you're trying to decide who you want to build around. They're great for the offseason when you're talking about who you want to re-sign, Jake Guentzel. They're great for the offseason. But in the postseason, they're nothing but footnotes. The headline is you lost. The footnote is in overtime. The footnote is, but Skjei played well. The footnote is, but Guentzel had another goal. It's the same as last year's Eastern Conference Finals loss to the Panthers. And you lost to the Panthers. 1-goal losses, multiple overtime losses. Same thing, right? Same story, different year. Same story, different round of the postseason. But I said it before this series. I said it before the game last night. I don't want to be explaining all offseason.
Yeah.
I don't want to be off-season hanging out with my buddies, right? Be it a wedding, be it a gathering, and some Bruins fan, some doesn't even have to be someone that was in the postseason, right? Some Devils fan wants to go, sheesh, got smoked by the Rangers. I don't want to have to sit there and go, well, actually, it wasn't a smoke, right? They didn't bulldoze them. It was actually each individual game was pretty close, and one thing here, one thing there, one power play here, one power play there, everything could have been different. I don't want to have to do that. We've done that for an entire offseason already. Figure out why you are so darn often on the wrong side of the 1 goal and overtime games. Why are you not built for the small margin of error coming into your favor? That's what you need to fix. You'd think that's what you would have fixed after last season. Jordan Staal on the if there is a similarity in all of these 1-goal losses.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit of a broken record, obviously. I think our special teams could be better. Power plays got to sneak in a couple goals or a goal or two, just kind of get us in a better position to end games. And, 5-on-5 games, it's been good. Has it been great? Have we completely buried teams? No, they're a good team too, but I think there's a few things on the special team side I think we can get better at, and we'll start with getting better at tomorrow, and then we'll find a way to win a game.
When do other teams have to start having those conversations about the Canes?
Yeah. We're going on year 6, so feeling like the Canes are always on this side of the conversation.
For the first 3 or 4, it felt like they were building, right? It was obviously they had the magical run to the Eastern Conference Finals to start things off, and then it was make it to the first round, then it was make it to the second round, then it was make it to the Eastern Conference. There was building, but there was always that end of, always that end of the games were actually closer than you think. I'm going, well, when does someone else get to describe it as the games were closer than you think, but the Canes were winning them all?
Yeah.
The best teams find a way to tilt the close games in their favor. They have the clutch players. They have the goalie that doesn't give up the game winner. The best teams find a way, and they're built that way, and they train for that way. It's why I was saying all gosh darn year the Canes couldn't prove anything to me in the regular season. Because the regular season is big sample size, right? The regular season, you look at things by months. How did you do in December? How did you do in January? You look at things in the biggest possible way. In the postseason, it might only be 4 games, right? We even did that exercise. If you listen to the show often, first of all, thank you. But we did that exercise starting about midseason where we were looking at everything in 4 to 7 game kind of breakdowns, right? You couldn't lose 4 out of 7. You have to go an entire run. You have to go months in the postseason without losing 4 out of 7. You have to start thinking in that way. You have to start thinking in the clutch. You're playing well, just well enough to lose respectably.
You also need guys to come up in the clutch. Outside of Andrei Svechnikov last night, scored with a minute and 36 left in regulation, but Panarin, I mean,
or even Svech.
Yeah.
Right? If Svech wanted to score a goal late in the game when it was tied, could have been the difference. If Svech wanted to score in overtime, it could have been the difference. Svech played very, very, very well. There are guys that aren't to blame, right? Like, I'm not blaming Aho. I think 6 points in 3 games. Like, how can you blame Aho? I'm not blaming Guentzel. He's woken up. He has 3 goals in the last 2. I'm not blaming Svech. He played really, really well yesterday, mowed down the opponents. He was running them over left and right. Not blaming them, but that doesn't mean there's not one more play they could have made. And the best teams make one more play. The Canes, as of right now, are not one of the best teams. It's fair to say, right? You can't call yesterday a must-win, then they lose, and then come in today in a good mood. You can't. Must-win means they must win. You had to win it in order to come in today as anything different than the vibe we're bringing. If you're looking for a specific reason, we'll give you the specific reason the Canes are down 0-3. It's not hidden. It's obvious, and we'll talk about it coming up next right here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. right after I tell you about my friends over at Window Nation. Tim Donnelly here for Window Nation during their semi-annual sale. 50% off all window styles plus 0 interest for 5 years and an additional bonus if you schedule an appointment this week. So go ahead and get your phones ready, get ready to head to the internet, because if you schedule this week, you get an additional bonus on top of 50% off all window styles and 0 interest for 5 years. Many so-called wood or composite windows are actually made from waste materials like wood fibers and can't beat the efficiency of Window Nation's insulated vinyl windows. Everything they do is backed by science, right? You have one consultation with them, one free, no-obligation consultation where they come and explain what their windows do. And I promise you will leave with cold, hard facts, not just opinion, not just we do it better, but this is how, this is why. These are why our materials are better. This is how your energy bill is going up because of the windows you have. They can show it to you. Science. They can also install your new windows in 1 day or less. So get ready to give them a call. It's easy. 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION. Or go ahead and visit windownation.com to schedule. That's windownation.com. Again, if you do it this week, you get an extra bonus. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the reason why the Canes are down 0-3.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Any mayo-based salad is disgusting. There's only one chicken salad on earth that I will eat. Most of them are too mayo-based. Egg salad is the grossest thing you could ever show me. That is so gross. If you're like, you know what I'm craving? An egg salad sandwich? Sickening.
Tuna and egg gross.
Ugh.
Yeah. Unsportsmanlike.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing, made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories, all without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew, 30 seconds, that's it. Done. Peace.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, it's Meredith in Thesis Jewelers and Garner. Mother's Day is right around the corner, and who else better to shop with than a mother-daughter team? My mom and I have handpicked every item in the store. Some of our favorites is the popular Diamond Flex Bangles, Diamond Hoops, and our Emphasis upgradable Diamond Stud program. But all moms really love the Diamond Tennis necklaces. We have them in all sizes and colors. I can assure you we have an unbelievable selection that any mom will love. It's already been mom approved. So shop in Thesis Jewelers this Mother's Day to find that perfect gift she would cherish for a lifetime.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Hey, Tim Donnelly here. As you know, so much of what makes us a family takes place in our homes. These walls provide an intimate space for all of the small moments that bring us together as a family, the bonds that grow stronger year after year. And like any other relationship, your home requires the same love and attention. That's why I brought in Zero Res to clean the carpets in my house from all of the dust dander my dog drags in, all of the crumbs my 3-year-old makes, and me too when I'm watching games. That is why you should trust in the power of Zero Res to care for your home. ZR water is tough on stains and dirt while still safe for you and your family and pets. Don't forget about your air ducts as well. This is the perfect time with allergy season, furnace and AC, efficiency, post-winter, and more. Just check out the 3,800 raving customer reviews online with a 4.8 Google rating. Visit ZeroResRaleigh.com to get 3 rooms of carpet, zero resified, starting at just $105, and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Make sure to mention me, Tim from 99.9 The Fan. Zero Res, spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Sometimes the reason why a team falls behind in a playoff series is hidden, right? It's difficult to see. It's you need a very expert eye to locate it. Sometimes it's sitting right there out in the open. If you're looking for the reason why the Canes are in an 0-3 hole against the Rangers, it's the power play. It's the power play. It's the fact that they can't find a goal on the power play. Game 1, guess what they were? 0-5 on the power play. Game 2, guess what they were? 0-5 on the power play. You may have thought, I don't think they can get worse. You may have thought there's no way in heck that they could get worse. But they did, because they went 0 for 5 on the power play and gave up a shorthanded goal yesterday. Somehow, some way, their power play, when they are on the ice with an extra person, they are -1 on the series in 15 tries. It gets worse when you look at the context of it, right? All the actually people out there that we're talking about, all the people that are going to try to say it's not as bad as I'm making it out to be. Carolina was second in the NHL in power play percentage this year. Over a fourth of the time, 26.9% of the time they had a power play this season, they scored. A strength has become an overwhelming weakness in the postseason. If we account for it, like even if we say, the Rangers have a really good penalty kill. The Rangers are a very good team. The postseason, it's going to be more difficult to score than in the regular season. If we say, fine, let's knock 6.9% off their percentage. If we account for the postseason being more difficult and take down their postseason percentage to 20% on the power play, they should have 3 goals this season. 3. This series, excuse me. If we take one of those goals, put it in each game, you'll win 2 of the 3 games, and in the third, you're going to overtime. You win games 2 and 3, and you go to overtime in game 1, maybe you win that too. And I know it's not that simple, and I know you can't just place goals where you want them, but it might be that simple. If you're better on the power play, this whole series is different at a minimum. You're dominating the series at a maximum. And we've talked about it. We've talked about it because it's been a thing for this entire series, and it's been a thing going back to the Islanders, right? You can't even just say the Rangers are great and that's everything that's happening, because the special teams weren't great against the Islanders either in the first round of the postseason. But we talked about this after Game 2 specifically, because after the game, Rod said it, Aho said it, Guentzel said it. They said we got to get into the middle of the defense. We're playing too much on the perimeter in the power play. You have to be, as a team, more flexible, more adaptable in real time, right? If 3 of your most important people, your head coach and 2 of your best players, are all saying the same thing, somebody should have acted upon it in Game 2. And whatever was hindering them in Game 3 in the power play, somebody should have acted on it in Game 3. You have to be willing to change and adapt and make the move that's best for that individual series. I don't know what's worse, that you're 0-15 on the power play, or that it feels like the first power play and the last power play were handled similarly. Try something. Get into the guts of the defense. Get more shots on goal. Change up the players. I know that they threw D'Angelo in there to do some quarterbacking on the power play. I mean, give everybody a shot. What like, could it get worse?
Yeah, nothing. At this point, can you just deny a penalty altogether like in football?
You can't. Just how funny would that be? We would like to decline. They're trying to send Trouba to the box, and no, thank you. Keep
New
him
York,
out here.
60 minutes for tripping. This penalty's declined. Right there.
The Canes are out there. They put their penalty kill out there for their own power plays because they're just trying to kill the penalty without giving up a goal.
Yeah.
It's a brain buster. It's a brain teaser. If you can score in 5-on-5, you should be able to score on 5-on-4. It's not like you don't have the talent out there. The players are really good. You need to, like call a spade a spade. The Rangers are too darn good for them to leave the door open and you not to take advantage of it. Right? If the Rangers are going to give you an opportunity, you have to run through that door. They're too good. They just are. You might be able to get away with that against a lesser opponent. You can't get away with that against a team like the Rangers. They gave you 15 opportunities to change the series, and you weren't able to convert any of them. Are there other things to nitpick? Sure. Right? Are there other, certain defensive lapses and both goalies, whether it's Kochetkov, who we'll talk about, or Freddie earlier in the series, they need to control the puck a bit more? Absolutely. But, I bring it up often. I grew up playing football, played in college. If you lose the turnover battle, it won't take long for the coach to look at you and say, that's why we lost the game. Right? If you throw 3 interceptions and your defense isn't forcing turnovers, it's like, well, guess what? It's going to be really hard to win a game that way. Our coach used to call it a classic way to lose a ball game. Going 0 for the series in the power play, it's a classic way to lose a ball game or a puck game. Right? You have to score on the power play in Game 4 this weekend, or else you go 0 for a 7-game series on the power play.
How horrible would that be, considering how great the power play was during the regular season?
Through 3 games, you are on pace to go 0 for 20. And you're right? This is something that has plagued the Canes in the past, right? You go back to previous postseason runs, previous seasons, the power play has plagued the Canes, and it felt like this year they figured it out. Whether it was the emergence of Jarvis, the addition of Guentzel, the just continued development of guys like Skjei and Aho, whatever it is, Burns running the point seemed to work during the year. It's not working in the postseason, and it darn sure is not working against the Rangers. The power play, if you're looking for a reason, if you're looking for the big Vegas Strip neon sign blinking, this is the reason why you're in the situation that you're in. Power play is what it says. Don't necessarily have to overthink anything. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I should mention this. With Game 4 coming up, this is our last show before Game 4, we will be taking first goal scorer predictions. So at 4:33 today, in just about an hour, we'll take 3 contestants on the call-in line and as many as we can for the bragging rights. Pick who's going to score the first goal for the Canes and in what period. I do believe we had a winner from yesterday's game. Who's going to score the first goal for the Canes and in what period? If you can call in at 4:33, you can be one of our contestants. If not, you can feel free right now to send them to me on Twitter at Donnelly Sports, DONNELLYSPORTS. We want to hear from you. We look forward to Game 4 and what the Canes can do and what their mindset should be going into the next game coming up next.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at the Law Tigers. Law Tigers, they're giving away the ultimate trip of a lifetime. Want to win a trip to the 84th Annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally along with a custom Harley-Davidson performance bagger? Visit stylinandsturgis.com to enter today. Again, stylinandsturgis.com to enter. Prizes, again, include a custom Harley-Davidson built by Lane Splitter Garage, a sound system by Rockford Fosgate, a turbo from Trask Performance, parts from J&P Cycles, and so much more. You got to go to stylinandsturgis.com. Again, you can win a trip to the 84th Annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, including a custom Harley-Davidson bagger, plus a VIP stay at Glencoe Camping Resort. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance. Your case evaluation is always free, and they do not get paid until your case settles. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
It's time for the Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month.
This is Creighton Blackwell from Coastal Credit Union. This month, we're at Fuquay Marina High School with our newest Scholar Athlete of the Month, Kenzie Smith.
How long have you been playing softball?
About 9 years. I've played since I was like 10 or something like that. My sister brought me into the sport. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here.
What does it mean to you to be recognized for your work as a student athlete?
It means a lot. Like, I'm glad I'm able to represent the school and the team of what the meaning of the bingle means. Bingle ball is like always something the old coach here, Coach Clark, would say. It's always like, give it everything you got. Whether you're in school, whether it's in life, you just gotta give it everything you got, and I'm glad I was able to represent that.
She's always encouraging. If she's not leading by telling people, she's leading people by example.
She's a quiet leader. Like, she's not necessarily the loudest one. She's not always the one that's going to be barking orders and things like that, but she leads by example in a quiet way.
She had a walk-off hit out here in a huge game, so we found it fitting that for her to have that night.
Kind of brought the team up and then encouraged us to keep fighting for next games that we would have.
But that night was pretty special.
Congratulations, Kenzie.
For 20 years, 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union have been recognizing scholar athletes at Triangle area schools. If you'd like to nominate a high school athlete, head to WRALSportsFan.com, keyword award.
Get ready. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale is coming to the State Fairgrounds May 17th through the 19th. The Car Scott building will be filled to the max with boats ready for immediate delivery featuring Suzuki outboards, shop center console, runabouts, deck boats, bass boats, pontoons, aluminum boats, and more, all under one roof. Boat Show only savings. Discounts up to $8,000, factory rebates, and special financing on site. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale May 17th through 19th at the Car Scott building on the State Fairgrounds featuring Suzuki outboards, free admission, and parking.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a champion in hockey. When I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers, the best wings on the planet, and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price appetizers, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jamesons on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
This is the absolute worst time of the year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor things you love to do. Hiking, jogging, biking, going to the beach. You name it, it can't be done. Don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints like your knees, hips, back, and shoulder. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, who is an orthopedic surgeon who became a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. Revolutionary treatments for joint pain are here. Call 919-400-5473 with locations in Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. 919-400-5473.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Hit the Grand Slam jackpot with BetMGM. Score a $50,000 bonus bet jackpot when a player you bet on to hit a homer slugs a Grand Slam. Hey, it's Victoria here for BetMGM, and all you need to do is head over to BetMGM and place a home run prop bet on any of this weekend's games. If the player you bet on goes yard with the bases loaded, you'll win a share of $50,000 in bonus bets on top of your wager. Take advantage of great home run odds, new ways to enjoy all 9 innings with more same-game parlay options and exclusive signature bets found nowhere else. Log into BetMGM and create your account to place a bet on a player to knock one over the fence this weekend. With BetMGM, official sports betting partner of the MLB. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older only. North Carolina only. New and existing customer offers subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Carolina Hurricanes trail 0-3. After last night, those of you that didn't stay up for overtime, it was another heartbreaker. Next game, Game 4, tomorrow at 7. Don't talk about can the Hurricanes come back from 0-3. Don't talk about can the Hurricanes shock the world. Don't talk about all of the percentages on how many come back from down 0-3 and how many times it's been done. Don't do it. Smaller than that. Talk about Game 4. You've chopped your expectations all the way down. All year. For a year, it's been Stanley Cup or bust. It's been get the cup. It's been hoist the cup. It's been cup. I
mean, you were favored.
You were the betting favorite to win the Stanley Cup at the beginning of the postseason. Now, after losing 3 straight, after going down 0-3, it's about one game. It's about one game. It's about don't get swept, right? You hate to hear it. It's about pride. Tomorrow can be a measure of Canes culture. We hear a lot about how great Canes culture is, right? And it appears great from the outside. We see it. We like it. We talk about Rod Brindamore creating it twice, once as a player, now as a coach. We talk about Jordan Staal and Sebastian Aho being the keeper and Slavin being the keepers of the culture. We talk about Canes culture and how great it is and how at the trade deadline, when I was advocating to bring in more players at the trade deadline, there were so many people saying you don't want to upset Canes culture. You don't want to trade away guys that are part of Canes culture. You want to keep the Canes culture. Canes culture. We hear a lot about Canes culture. Well, guess what? Every single team's culture, every last one, is fantastic. It's unbelievable. Everybody loves it. Everybody works hard when you're winning. I mean, you hear the worst teams, if they go on a hot streak, it's all about, our culture, everybody's all in, everybody's making the change. As soon as they start losing, it's not my fault, it's that guy's fault.
Yeah.
It's easy to have a great culture when things are going well, and things have been going well for the Canes a lot lately. How do you show up when everything seems to be going against you is the best measure of culture. How do you show up when you're down 0-3? And even if you win Game 4, the cards are still stacked against you to make it out of the round. That's what tomorrow is about. All year, it was about big and lofty goals. All year, it was about, can you win the cup? All year, it was about, this is just one small step on a journey of 1,000 miles. All year, it was, let's go get something gigantic. Tomorrow, it's not that. Tomorrow, it's not, can we pull off the impossible? Tomorrow is, can you win one game? Can you score one power play goal? Can you be the more aggressive team for an entire 60 minutes one time in the series? Can you play a full 60 minutes one time in the series? Can you take a 1-goal lead and make it a 2-goal lead one time in the series? Have some pride. Vincent Trocheck is talking trash, right? He's making the little one-timer, little touch pass, and then he's standing up and he's getting in Sebastian Aho's face after the goal is scored. Do you want to shut him up or not?
He's also stirring the pot out there on the ice.
Exactly. I mean, they're the entire Rangers team. Do you want to shut them up or not? Even just for one game, for one more time on your home ice. That's what we're looking at, right? How do you want to go about it? How do you want to be remembered? It was described this way in The Office to me. I think it's a good way to put it. Do you want to make the handshake line meaningful?
Yes.
Right after this series, whether you pull off the impossible or not, you're going to have the handshake line.
Going to have to face your demons.
Do you want it to be one where they're looking at you going, respect, or do you want it one where they're looking at you going, we just smoked you? Do you want them to be smirking or legitimately patting you on the back and saying, y'all gave it everything you had? There are no moral winners. I don't believe in moral winners. I don't believe moral victories, right? You win or you lose. That's why they keep score. So I'm not saying there's any way that, outside of winning 4 straight, that you can walk out of this series with some kind of winner. But you can walk out of this series with your head held high, and the only way that happens is if Game 4 is something special. Be more physical. Get more shots on net. Shut up a couple of the Rangers. I'm not talking about just go out there and drop your gloves and do something stupid, but shut them up. Sometimes it really does come down to that. There's, sports are stupid like this. I want to make sure everybody understands that I understand the gravity here, that I'm comparing like Niagara Falls to the puddle that forms at the bottom of my driveway. I want that to be clear here. But my last high school football game, I shattered my hand, right? Broke it, ended up having my 2 middle fingers were shorter than they like an inch shorter than they should be because they had driven into my hand. It was gross. It was bad. But I was the quarterback, and I got hurt early in the game. And in the entire time, me and a couple of my really good buddies were on varsity. We had never been shut out. And once I got hurt, we were getting smoked. We were losing by like 30 or 40 points. And I remember one of our fullbacks basically told the coach, I'm going my entire career without getting shut out. Give me the ball every time. And it was pointless in the scheme of things.
Yeah.
We were not going to win the game. There was a 0% chance we were going to win the game. This dude was out there smashing skulls and had one drive, and I think we ended up losing like 40-6 because we didn't even make the extra point, but we did not get shut out. And it was just about that. It was just about not getting shut out because you gotta cling to some kind of pride. Don't get swept out of the postseason in back-to-back years. I don't care what round it is. Don't get swept in 8 straight close games that you feel like you should have won in those 2 series. You've lost 7 straight close games in the postseason to teams that aren't the Islanders. End the streak. And I don't, what? Part of me wants to say I don't care who's in goal. We'll see who's in goal, whether they go back to Freddie or whether they think Kochetkov played well enough to get the nod in net once again.
For what it's worth, Freddie was in the starting crease today during practice.
So there you go. Looks like they're going back to Freddie. Pyotr Kochetkov played about as well as you could expect him to play in Game 3.
Yes.
I was impressed with Pyotr Kochetkov. And I think he kind of did what what the intention was of putting him in there. Obviously gave Freddie a little bit of a break. That was part of it. But also he gave the Canes a spark. He was tested a bunch in big moments, but that's not even the spark I'm talking about. The spark he provided was in how the team reacted to him. Right? Early on, a few times, Rangers were testing him, as they should, and trying to get into his head, as they should. When you have a goalie that hasn't played in a month and he's starting in a must-win postseason game, you're darn right the other team's going to test you both physically and mentally. So they were bumping into him, right? They were maybe not stopping as aggressively as they should. They were not obeying the whistle as by the book as they should. And as soon as someone touched him, the cavalry came calling.
Yeah, that all-out scrum broke out between Kotkaniemi and I can't remember who it was of the Rangers.
Kotkaniemi was chasing him like I don't even know, like Rocky Balboa chases chickens. Yeah. He was like, get off me! I gotta go take care of this. And there was even one before that where I forget who it was, but somebody immediately came to the defense of Kochetkov, and I thought it was like the most edge they've shown in the series.
No, I agree.
It was the most sandpaper they've shown in the series. Protecting him early on showed something the Canes hadn't been bringing to the table up to that point in the series. So I think Kochetkov did his job. And then on top of that, just by the nature of the game he plays, he takes a couple chances, a couple risky moves that can ignite a team also. You know, is his name Kochetkov or Pochetkov? He likes to poke check. He likes to get out there. He likes to be aggressive. He pulled it off a few times. He was tested. He had a couple one-on-ones. Made some plays against some of the best players in the league. How can that not ignite your team in a way that you hadn't been ignited before? I'm not saying he was perfect. Heck, if I said anyone on the Canes was perfect last night, then you have every right to demand a random drug test. Nobody was perfect. He looked a little skittish at times. I'm talking about Pyotr. Especially in locating the puck a few times where it's like he just lost control of it for a second. And if the Rangers maybe had been pushing to the front of the net a little bit better at that point in time, could have been something bad. But what do you expect from him after a month off? He's not going to be as super sharp as possible because he's been a month off. Hadn't seen live NHL in-game shots in a month, let alone postseason shots from the President's Trophy team. Pyotr Kochetkov did his job. And he's actually, I would say this, he's one of the only guys who I feel comfortable, and I'm a big fan of Pyotr Kochetkov, so maybe this is my bias showing. I'm comfortable saying he did his job and making another play would have been a tall ask simply because of how impossible the situation that he was put into was.
And the two goals that were scored on him. You had one that was the breakaway, and then the other one with Panarin, who just pulled a rabbit out of his hat by putting his stick in between his legs for the deflection. I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah, there's a little tipping of the cap that needs to happen and just say, good one. You wish it didn't happen in that situation, but good one. I mean, It truly is this. The Canes had a lot of pretty solid individual performances. And then they had some guys that left some things to be desired. I know Burns didn't have his best game. You brought up Kotkaniemi. He hasn't had his best game. It felt like Necas was buzzing all series, but the other guys on his line weren't really able to take advantage of it. There was just Martinook. They slowed it down on the broadcast, right? Cuts to the middle and has maybe a shot, and they aren't able to find him. And so many little things add up to not winning the game. As I brought up, Pyotr Kochetkov played well individually. He probably made a couple little things that may have led to a different outcome if he did them differently. I don't know if it's fair to nitpick him based on the situation he was put in, but everyone on the team had those moments. There was a moment I thought Jordan Staal was going to score. He wasn't able to put it in the back. There were moments where I thought Aho was going to score. He wasn't able to do it. And I think I saw that there are 12 guys that have like 77 shots and no goals combined.
Yeah, something like that. It just turns into a domino effect. It feels like every single game. Once one guy's not able to get going, it just kind of trickles down to another player on the next line.
I mean, I think the big domino that fell was the shorthanded goal.
Yeah.
Before that, it felt like their special teams were getting back to normal. Their PK was playing all right. They were buzzing a little bit. The shorthanded goal and everybody just went, wah, wah, wah.
Well, that whole second period, and that's what I asked Rod last night. What was it just felt like in the second period when they came back out, it just looked totally different than the first period as far as mishandling the puck, losing the 50-50 battles, turnovers.
Little things.
Yeah.
Little things. They all add up to big things. Let's take a break from the Canes talk for a second here, but don't worry. We'll get back to it as the show goes along. Sion James committed to Duke. Toledo's finest. A 6'6" guard commits to Duke out of the transfer portal. A 4-year player at Tulane commits to Duke. Duke has, we talked about, they lost everybody, right? They had like 10, 11 guys depart, either going pro eligibility or something like 8 guys hit the portal. It does look like they had a plan, right? I'm not saying the plan was for, I'm sure they would have loved for TJ Power to stick around rather than going to Virginia. I'm sure they would have loved for Mark Mitchell to stick around rather than going to Missouri. Sure, they would have loved Sean Stewart sticking around rather than going to Ohio State. Sure, they would have loved all of it, but it didn't happen, right? Their plan is this: veteran guards, reckless talent everywhere else.
Yep.
Now that they bring in Sion James, the ball handlers and guards, right, the perimeter players who will be making most of the decisions, are Tyrese Proctor, who's come back for his junior year at Duke, 2-year starter. Caleb Foster, who played a lot before his injury last year. He'll be coming back for his second year at Duke. And now Sion James, who's going into his 5th year of college basketball after 4 years at Toledo. The shooters and the bigs, the shooting guards, the wings, and the bigs are going to be young, and they are going to be talented, and they are going to be future NBA guys, and they are all Americans, and they are going to be talented, big-time talented. They're going to be set up by the veterans. I kind of like that, right? Have boatloads of talent, but have that talent be at the mercy of veterans with some savvy. If Cooper Flagg wants to take over a game, that's going to be because Tyrese Proctor, Caleb Foster, and Sion James thinks it's time for Cooper Flagg to take over the game. And they will orchestrate the offense in that way. If it's Evans or Harris, or if it's Maluash, or if it's like any of these other guys who are all 5-star talents, if it's their turn to take over, it's because the veterans saw something in the game that made it feel that way, or John Shire communicated to the veterans calling the shots that it's that time. That's kind of a good way. It's almost getting reverse engineering what we used to like about March Madness teams.
Yeah.
Back in the day, when you were looking for which 12 seed you were going to pick on your bracket to upset a 5 seed, right? Because you always got to pick one. You'd look for the one that has the most junior and senior guards. You wanted the veteran, the experienced guards on some mid-major team that has had a bunch of success over the last 3 or 4 years. Boom, there's a 12 seed. I'm taking them. This is Duke essentially going, I want that blueprint, but on steroids, right? But ramped up to 11. I want the veteran guards who have lived a life, seen a lot, communicated with a bunch of different coaches, know the game, and then the guys who are normally dragged along by the veterans, I want them to be rocket ships.
It's almost going to be a nice distribution of veteran players to the young talent you have coming in, and it's going to be nice to have it kind of it's going to be evened out between your starting players and your bench players.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, this is one of, I believe, the more efficient ways to build through the portal. You get your NBA talent in the one and done range, and you get your, I need you to make all the decisions from the portal. And obviously Proctor sticking around helps, and Foster, sticking around helps, but but everything else is going to be built in a way that looks like a team we used to know, right? You look at. I'm trying to piece together some national champions. We can go back as far as. Actually, we'll just go to the national champion by Virginia. What was that? 2019, something like that. 2018. Yeah. They had all these veterans: Kyle Guy, Ty Jerome on the perimeter, and then they have a wing in DeAndre Hunter, and they had the young Mamadou Diakite, and like they had these younger guys as just the kind of flame throwing talent wings and bigs. But you still had Kyle Guy, who had been around for a while, Ty Jerome, who had been around for a while, guys that were there when they got beat by a 16, and obviously it worked. Duke trying to do a bigger and crazier version of that, because instead of just having DeAndre Hunter and a couple other young guys, you have, one of like 7 1.000, that's the highest you can rank, recruits from 247 in its history. Cooper Flagg. And you have Malawash, who's like number 4, and you have Evans, who's another high school All-American, and it's going to be pretty crazy. John Shire, credit to you for pulling it off, because we for sure didn't always see it.
Yeah, he almost gets redemption back on everybody for everybody that was questioning, like, wow, so many people are leaving Duke. I mean, at one point you felt like they were setting the record for most transfers out of not just the ACC, but maybe in the entire country.
It was definitely easier to count the ones staying, too. Like that's what you had. Granted, like Filipowski and McCain are going to be first-round picks. I don't blame a program for losing first-round picks, but all those transfers, it was eye-opening.
Yeah.
And if you come out on the other side better for it, that's pretty impressive by the coaching staff. It's pretty impressive by the recruiting staff. And just to be clear, I don't see them doing much more. Right, they brought in a wing, they brought in a guard, they brought in a big. They still have a couple, if they want to, scholarships. If they want to go bring in somebody on the last year of eligibility, maybe for depth, fine. I don't see them making many more big splashes. Sion James is. Oh, we haven't even talked about Sion James. I'll do that real quick. I think he's the last piece. He is 6'6". He is wildly athletic. He's a highlight film guy. He will dunk on you. He will ignite the Cameron Crazies more than a few times this year with one-handed tomahawk, cock it all the way back dunks, and you better pay attention to where you are on the floor if you're a defender, or else you're going to end up on a poster.
He kind of reminds me, I'm not just saying this just because they share a similar name, but he kind of reminds me of a slimmer down Zion Williamson as far as just the athletic ability that he has.
I mean, I thought you were going with his last name, saying they're just because they have a similar name. I thought you were saying, Sion James.
Yeah.
I mean, they
share the same first name. So
Zion and Sion, but I was thinking you were going James. I was like, are you about to compare a 4th-year starter at Toledo to LeBron James? Is that what's going on?
No.
Compared him to Zion, still high praise, especially when you get to Duke. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Will continue our short hiatus from Canes talk to look at Panthers. Their minicamp, rookie minicamp, opened today. That means Xavier Legette, they're all out there for the first time in their Panthers uniform. What can we learn? What should we expect? And more coming up.
Canes on.
Let's go, Canes!
Go Canes!
Necas left circle, one-timer, he scores!
It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Move to Svechnikov, Burns, rebound, scores! Seth Jarvis.
Let's go Canes!
Verdeen wide open, rebound, and what a save by Anderson!
The Canes' road to the Stanley Cup runs through us. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Let's go!
It's not too late for a deep spring cleaning on your home. Give my friends at Zero Res a call, 919-995-0000. Schedule today and get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for only $105 and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Make sure to mention me, Tim from 99.9 The Fan.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or a 2 Bird Dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Bo's Bird Dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's Bow time.
It is not often in this life that you can save both time and money and make your life better in the process. So here's how I'm going to save you time and money. We're getting rid of contact lenses, getting rid of glasses, getting rid of everything that goes along with them. Money, those things all cost a lot of money. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to go to Dr. Lori Travers LASIK, and we're going to let her work her magic on us as she did on me. 5 minutes per eye, totally painless, back to work the next day. And here's the best part. We're going to give you $1,000 off. Go right now. Travers LASIK, Dr. Lori Travers, the only LASIK specialist in the Triangle. And by the way, 0% financing for 24 months is available. 919-510-6830. Make the call now. And on top of that, we can save $1,000 right now. All you got to do, go to TraversLASIK.com. The consultation is free. TraversLASIK.com. 919-510-6830 for Travers LASIK.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall to winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loan, and personal loans. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon, but some pop-up thunderstorms and a line of storms down in our southern counties with a level 2 risk for severe storms. A few isolated tornadoes down near the South Carolina line, a high of 81. Clearing tonight and turning cool. We'll see a low of 53. And then a gorgeous weekend for Mother's Day, looking at 74 Saturday, 79 Sunday. Lots of sunshine and a drop in humidity.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 133 points at 39,521. Market update brought to you by Habitat for Humanity Restore, now selling brand new solid wood custom cabinets. Learn more at trianglerestores.org. This hour of the drive brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. Coming to Charlotte this June, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
Football at 4 here on the drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Today was the first day of rookie minicamp. as one season maybe coming to a close, another new birth. The life cycle of the sports calendar.
Am I ready for Carolina Panthers football? Am I ready
I don't
for
know
it?
if, I don't know
Am
if
I
that's
ready
the
for it
light
just
at the
that
end of the
yet?
tunnel. I don't know if that's the light at the end of the tunnel.
It's
like,
pretty dim and light.
If the Canes do end up not making history and winning the series, at least you can dive right into Panthers football, baby. I don't know if that's the reward. That maybe it's a punishment. If the Canes can't distract us deep into June, then you're forced to pay attention to the offseason for the Carolina Panthers. Maybe that's the punishment. A few things. One, the rookies were on the field today. Their entire rookie class was signed. So while certain agents and certain players believe it is of their best interest to haggle over the minutia of a contract, because remember, the values are slotted, right? What draft pick are you? All right, this is how much money you get. It's just the language within the contract that can be negotiated. So certain players drag that on. The Panthers have signed all 7 of their draft picks. They're all pen to paper, ink, set in stone, locked in. That's good. That's good news for the Panthers. Because the Panthers have to find value. They have to find advantage in the margins everywhere they can. They need, the way I describe it is have you ever pulled up to a drive-thru? You got your meal ordered, and you realize you don't have your wallet with you?
Yep.
And suddenly you're looking through the console for, did I leave a $10 bill in here at some point? You're doing the index finger, middle finger pinch, trying to get the dime that you had between the cushions, and you're looking for money, value, anywhere you can find it.
Or if you get desperate enough, you start counting through the change that you have.
100%. You where like the change you have in the cup holder, you're going, oh no, are there any quarters in here? Why do I save all these pennies? Like, you're looking for value anywhere. That has to be the Panthers this offseason. The Panthers, the keep pounding Panthers, the Panthers, the Panthers have ground to make up on every other team in the NFL. And guess what? Every other team in the NFL is going to have a rookie minicamp. Every other team in the NFL is going to have OTAs. Every other team in the NFL is going to have training camp. Every other team is going to have meetings. Every other team is going to have Zoom calls. Every other team is going to do it. So how can you make yours better? And I don't care if it's 1% of 1% of 1% better. How can you make yours better? Because that's the only way you're going to make up ground. You're going to catch the rest of the teams in the NFL. One of them is, well, if their best player is a little distracted, their best draft pick's a little distracted by contracts, yours isn't. And you may say, oh, you're getting you're real down in the weeds. Yes. The little things add up. Like I said, 1% of 1% of 1%. Do that 1,000 times, you got a full percent, I think. Don't quote me on that.
Math on radio is
live math is the dumbest thing I do.
It's flirting with a disaster.
I do it all the time. Maybe 10,000 times. I don't know. My point is, if you do it a lot, it adds up to something bigger. So, for example, right? And keep in mind that we see what the media wants us to see on these mini camps. We see what the team wants us to see, right? They run it knowing who's watching what. The footage at a rookie minicamp today was particularly rough for the quarterbacks in the camp. Jack Plummer, their undrafted free agent out of Louisville, like I'm not breaking news here. There were more than a couple uncatchable passes in routes on air. How can Xavier Legette find value, get 1% better, faster than the other first-round wide receivers? How can Legette find value in a mini camp when the quarterback isn't lighting it up? That's what the Panthers have to do. They don't have the luxury of, we went into a rookie mini camp, we brought in these undrafted free agent quarterbacks, they weren't getting it done, so, oh well, we'll try to do better tomorrow. They don't have that luxury. Right? If you're the Chiefs and you drafted Xavier Worthy in the first round and you show up and your undrafted rookie free agents aren't getting it done, guess what you do? No darn. Xavier will pick it up when we get Pat Mahomes in town. Like that's fine for them. They're the defending Super Bowl champs. Xavier Legette can't waste a day, can't waste a rep, can't waste a second. So it's probably a mental day for him, right? If your quarterback can't throw you the ball, have the coach walk up to you and tell you if you were where you're supposed to be every single play. Have Dave Canales explain the plays to you in intricate detail every single time you go up there. It's rookie mini camps are not day camp, right? I was listening to the Kelsey Brothers podcast, New Heights, and Jason Kelsey, who, by the way, played in the NFL for 12, 13 years, and this is his first offseason retired. He said he might go to rookie minicamp because it's just entertaining. And Travis Kelsey jumped in and said the thing he looks for at rookie minicamp is how guys respond to messing up.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna mess up. And then they talked about the one big clap, when you make a bad play, when you drop a pass, when you run the wrong route and coach is yelling at you, you do the one big clap just to show that you messed up and you're working on it. Just like a gosh darn it clap. They were talking about that, and I was thinking, like, that is a good part of rookie minicamp. A good part of rookie minicamp is messing up because, the best players don't make the same mistake twice, so make all the mistakes in rookie minicamp. The Panthers have a new offense they're putting in, right? The rookies, they're going to be thrown into the fire, and the veterans, once they get there, won't even be able to help them that much because the veterans have to worry about themselves figuring it out. It's a new offense. Make the mistakes now. The rookie mini camps definitely have like an open tryout vibe because you have all these guys who aren't going to end up on the game roster or even maybe the training camp roster. I've got a ton of teammates that their entire NFL careers were 3 days of rookie minicamp. And then they didn't get picked up after that, and they never got picked up by anyone ever again. But they have a really sweet picture of them in helmets and no pads playing in an NFL uniform. So it does feel like a tryout vibe. The Panthers can't think of it like that. Jonathan Brooks, their second-round running back, was there. He had a sleeve on his ACL, which he got repaired in November, and basically didn't do anything. He has to be out there getting value.
Find a way to get him involved, even while he's sidelined.
Mental reps. What do you do on this? What would you do on this?
Yeah,
what do you do on
plays,
this?
coaching plays.
What did he do wrong? What did he do right? Why was that good? Why was that bad? What is the quarterback thinking here? You're going to hear this from me all offseason. We have a long offseason ahead of us, right? Not many big roster moves coming, maybe a late Stephon Gilmore addition or something like that, but not many. We have a long offseason ahead of us, and every single step along the way, you're going to hear me saying, where can they find value in the margins? Where can they find value that no one else is getting in the NFL? Right now, it is a you have to make up ground challenge for the Panthers. Every single team in the NFL is ahead of you. Start picking them off, right? Like a horse who's, coming off the first turn and dead last, and then all of a sudden they pass one, they pass two, they pass three, they pass. Oh, now they're making up ground. They're on the outside. They pass five, they pass six. That's what the Panthers have to be trying to do. It's not an even like everyone. The cliche is always, after the draft, everyone's 0-0. Everyone's dreaming Super Bowl. Everyone's in the same place. It's not the case, right? This isn't redraft. Everybody doesn't go back in. You don't start your team from scratch every year. You're building off of the previous, and the Panthers were the worst team in the NFL this past year. Rookie minicamp is about how can you get the players that you expect to be around 1% of 1% of 1%. Ready for this? This is good English. 1% of 1% of 1% more better than everyone else in the NFL.
They're essentially building from the ground up again.
Building from the ground up, and everybody else already has their first floor built. Some teams have, skyscrapers built already, and you're starting with, a shovel.
Some teams are putting their frames up.
Yeah, there's
outline their walls.
There's a bunch of different, some teams have the stick frame, some have the outside done, some are putting on the finishes, some have a skyscraper mansion. Panthers have a shovel and a plot of land. you better work all night. When they're resting, when they're sleeping, you better be working. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Coming up next, we have our Cup check-in. Sean Hill, former Cane, talked with Adam Gold earlier today. A lot to talk about in Canes land, so we'll do just that. Cup check-in coming up next.
You're always close to the Canes with 99.9 The Fan.
They score! Carolina does it again! That's the magic, Andrei Svechnikov!
Count on us to bring you every Canes game night and the latest Canes news from insider Adam Gold. Your official home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Getting ready to take on spring? Make your first move with the reliable performance and power of Staal battery tools. From hedge trimmers and mowers to string trimmers and more, save on select Staal battery tools. Right now, save $50 on the FSA 57 battery trimmer set. Real Staal. Find yours at SteelDealers.com. With AK10 battery and AL101 charger. Offer valid for a limited time only while supplies last. See participating dealer for details.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Dallas Spruill from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I have more windows in my house than doors, but if I wanted to change out windows, how long does this whole thing take?
So, typical job, couple of days, 2-3 days, and that's complete. It's very unintrusive. A lot of these home improvement projects, it can take weeks or months. You can beautify your home. You can make it more energy efficient. You can make the windows that are a lot easier to use and clean, and you can do it quickly. It's 2 to 3 day job usually.
2 to 3 days. And how many different types of windows do you have?
Where do I begin?
We don't have that much time.
We got colors, options. These things are custom made to your specifications, sized perfectly to fit the openings.
Can you put a window where I don't have a window?
We do it all the time.
Unbelievable. Dallas Spruill from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, 800-672-4348 on Hamlin Road in Durham, aluminumcompany.com for windows, right?
Absolutely. And doors.
Electricity flows through everything. Our movement, our passion, our drive. Ford connected the performance of a sports car with the thrill of an EV to create a pony tuned for exhilaration, engineered to give you an extra jolt of adrenaline. Feel something electric. The 2024 Mustang Mach-E SUV. Test drive one today at your Carolina Ford dealer. Available at Ford EV certified dealers only.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing, made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories, all without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew, 30 seconds, that's it. Done. Peace.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh. Yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for Taco Pizza!
Jigsaw!
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan on a Friday. About 18 minutes. We'll be taking your first goal scorer predictions for Game 4. So be ready to call in with who you think will score the first goal of the Game 4 for the Canes. Tomorrow, game starts at 7 right here, 99.9 The Fan. But also what period that goal will be scored in. So who's going to score the first goal for the Canes, and in what period will it be scored? We're going to take your calls on that at 4:33. 4:33. Right now it's time for the Cup check-in on 99.9 The Fan. Served up by Abbey Road Tavern and Grill in Cary and Apex, your neighborhood rock and roll sports bar. Adam Gold was joined earlier today by Sean Hill, former Cane, to talk about what went on in Game 3 and obviously the Canes in general. Here's Adam and Sean.
You've played some power play time before in your career, Sean. What when you look at the Hurricanes power play, what would you change? What do they need to do more of?
I just think we got to get the puck to the net more. I think sometimes we're passing up shots, looking for stuff that isn't there, and that type of thing, looking for passing lanes that aren't there. And I think we've seen it time and again. As long as we can get the puck to the net with traffic, then we're creating chaos down there around the crease and that. And it doesn't have to be a great shot. It doesn't even have to be a scoring chance, the first one, but it's going to create scoring chances on the second one if we have traffic and we have bodies there. And, I think, again, just simplify everything at this point and find ways to get the puck in the crease and cause some chaos and see what happens, what comes of it. And, that's when usually things break down and you'll find an open guy at that point,
The both goals yesterday, all 3 goals in Game 2 were either deflections or shots right in front of the net. And that's where Carolina needs to get to. Inside, between the hash marks, below the circles, there are a lot of shots coming from up top. Obviously, Igor Shesterkin, I want to get to, you talk about making too many passes, looking to pass, because I think they're trying to find easier shots, right? They're trying to make the goals easier as opposed to making it harder on Shesterkin. And can that get in your head as a player where, well, he's stopping everything, so I don't want to have him stop this. Let's pass. Let's see if I can find a pass, which might be a harder play than the actual shot.
Right. Yeah, no, I think at this point our focus has to be, we're probably not going to beat him on the first shot. And let's accept that, and let's just get that first one through there. And then when that rebound is bouncing around, that's the one where we might beat him on. Or if, he overcommits to try and save that next shot, that's when you can slide it across for a tap in or something along those lines. But I think, we have to accept the fact that he's probably stopping the first one unless he's completely, blinded by our screens. And
right.
Other than that, let's work for that second and that third shot. Those are the ones that we're going to score on.
I know the series was not the same in terms of, the Rangers are 3 up, and in 2002, Montreal was 3-1 up. Was it 3-1 up or whatever this? When we went back to, it was 2-1, and they were about to go 3-1 up,
right?
Down 3-0 in the third period. The famous miracle at Molson. But was there a sense that Jose Theodore was the MVP in the NHL that year? He was about to be named the Hart Trophy winner. Was there a sense at any point in that series that, man, this guy right now we just can't do anything with, but once you got one, you felt like the floodgates opened? Was there something like that permeated through your locker room at the time?
Yeah, I think so. It's when a guy is playing that well, that's all you're thinking about is how do we get that first one? How do we get that first one? And then create a little self-doubt for him, And I think the Hurricanes still have that ability. And, like we said, we just got to get that first one and just start playing downhill, start playing heavy, start dominating zone time and get them to take the penalties. And, if we can do that, I still think, like I said, let's not think about having to win 4. Let's just start thinking about having to win that first shift and let that build into winning a period. And let's just take it one step at a time here and do it because, like I said, you get the first one, we got nothing to lose, obviously.
Right.
We should be playing loose, and, loose teams that play loose are dangerous. And, I hopefully that's what we are, and go back into New York and do our thing again. And the next thing you know, you're back in Raleigh, and who knows? But like I said, we gotta win that first shift, win that first period, keep rolling in that direction, and totally simplify it and just play. We just got to play now.
Once again, that was the Cup check-in on 99.9 The Fan, served up by Abbey Road Tavern and Grill in Cary and Apex, your neighborhood rock and roll sports bars. That was Sean Hill, joined Adam Gold earlier today. Talk about the Canes. I couldn't agree more with you got to win the first shift, you got to win the first period, you got to win the first minute. Make it as small as possible for Game 4. Zero in, focus in as far as you can. Don't think about the big picture of, winning 4 straight or shocking the world and shocking the Rangers. Just make the right play on the next time the puck hits your stick and go from there. Matter of fact, focus on the power play. How about that? I said it earlier. If you're looking for the big reason why the Canes are in an 0-3 hole against the Rangers, stop when you get to special teams. Stop when you get to power play. You found it. Stop looking. Rod Brindamore was asked earlier today during his media availability, just this afternoon, what's missing from the Canes power play?
I think we're just a little off on listen, you got to give them credit. I think that's the first thing you do. They're doing their system really well, and they're knowing when to pressure and when not, and we just haven't handled that the way we normally do. And I think that's really the beginning of it.
I'm fine with, you got to tip your hat to the Rangers. They're playing very well. Give the Rangers credit and say they should cut the Canes power play in half. I mean, that's a massive amount of credit, right? That's saying the penalty kill for the Rangers is unreal. Say they should cut it in half. You're still that would still be significantly better than what the Canes are actually putting on the ice as far as the power play goes. 0-5 in each game this series. I can't get over that. Because the thing is, you're earning power plays, right? Your aggressiveness, your 5-on-5 play is putting the Rangers in a situation where they're committing penalties. You're drawing penalties, and somehow you're worse with the man advantage than you are 5-on-5. And actually, you're pretty good scoring once you pull the goalie. So there's a different kind of man advantage. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And I don't get why there's not more attempts to change things up, right? I don't get why the power plays don't look different. I don't know what you're preserving, right? It's you were down 0-2. No bad ideas. Try something, right? Put an extra defenseman out there. I don't know. Go crazy. Take out Burns, put in D'Angelo. I know you tried it. Take out D'Angelo, put in Slavin. Take out Slavin, put in whoever. Give Chatfield some power play reps. I know it's ridiculous, but he can't get worse. Get it into the guts of the defense is the only kind of tangible thing I've heard anyone talking about. They're playing 2 on the perimeter of the power play. Well, part of that is crediting the Rangers, but secondly, you have a ton of skilled players on the perimeter, right? If you're passing it around the perimeter and it goes from Seth Jarvis to Sebastian Aho to Jake Guentzel to Svech to Aho to Jarvis, and that's all on the perimeter, one of those guys should be able to create. One of those guys should be able to set up somebody for a deflection. I keep coming back to this. And maybe it's me being weirdly fan. But all of it is so much more frustrating and anger inducing because you're not overmatched. Right? That's not the silver lining everyone's making it out to be. When the power play is out there, it's not like you know what? The Rangers have the best power play in the league, or a penalty kill, I should say, in the league, and the Panthers' power play stinks. What are you going to do? If that were the case, I'd understand. I'd go, well, they're 0-15, but it makes sense. Right? If A basketball team walks into a gym, they're facing 2 7-footers, and they got this is high school, you got a bunch of, you look at your center, your 5-man, and he's standing 6 feet 2 inches tall. Guess what? I'm not going to be surprised when you don't win the rebounding battle. But at the same exact time, if you go in with a team that is used to winning the rebounding battle and you have the height advantage and you have things that work in your favor, yet you're getting out-rebounded every single game, I'm going to be mad. The Canes had the second best power play in the NHL this year. Second best. 26.9% of the time when they were on the man advantage, they scored. This is not a team that is bad at something and that's being amplified in the postseason, right? Because that happens. You have a little flaw in your game that you're able to hide in the regular season. You get to the postseason against a better team. They put a big old spotlight on it, big old magnifying glass on that little flaw. And now it's that's the reason you lose. That's not what's happening here. There is no gap in the armor. There is no gap in the defense. They're a good power play team that is playing bad power play in the playoffs, in the postseason, when the chips are down. That is going to be so much more frustrating. If you're bad at what you're bad at, I can understand. If you're bad at what you're good at, that's not a silver lining. That's not, well, at least we know they're good. Losing a one-goal game is not like, oh, well, that's at least it was a one-goal game. Like, there's a reason why postseason series are not decided by goal differential, right? They're not decided by, at the end of 7 games, whoever scored the most goals, running tally. It's who wins each individual game, which means close doesn't count. Should I go full like annoying thing that the older generation always tells you?
I mean, might as well.
Horseshoes and hand grenades. It's the only thing where close matters, right? Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning. Dominic Toretto, the first Fast and the Furious. You almost had me. An inch or a mile. Anyway, the Canes are losing. They're losing. And you can say, well, if one thing changes, the power play, they would have been winning. You can say that as a positive. I see it as a negative because you didn't change it. You didn't fix it. You didn't find a way. The best do. They just do. Martinook was talking to the media earlier today, again at that same media availability. He was asked about the energy in today's practice.
Yeah, obviously emotional game, and guys didn't probably sleep that good, and I know I didn't. So I felt the energy was good for probably the energy that guys had. So the energy was good, if that makes any sense.
How mad were they? That's what I would have wanted to know. Like. How mad are you that the things are breaking the way they're breaking? How personally insulted are you? Because that's the other thing about the games being this close. Everybody that played any significant minutes has a play that, they didn't sleep well, has a play that when you're laying in bed, closing your eyes, it's going to pop into your brain. I played quarterback is a little easier, right? You know when a guy was open and you missed him. You know when you threw an interception. Those plays, when you close your eyes after a loss, you're just going to see them over and over again. But sometimes you lose by like 38, and then you close your eyes and you think about the one interception, and you're like, yeah, if I didn't throw that interception, we would have lost by 31. Who cares? Not who cares, but you get what I'm saying. Every single player that played any amount of significant minutes for the Canes, and particularly those that play on special teams, had the replay moment where if you would have just been a little bit faster, if Brent Burns would have just dove that one more time, right? If Chatfield would have got a stick on it just one more time, could have been the difference in the game. How mad does that make you? And how much are you going into game 4 like it ain't going to happen again? Not with me.
Yeah, you got to be furious.
Absolutely furious.
You got to empty the tank in game 4.
I mean,
From here on out, really.
I was going to say you got to refill the tank because hopefully you emptied it in Game 3, and then once it gets refilled, I mean, empty it at the end of the first quarter, and then find a way to fill it up in the intermission. Like it's full Waterboy Bourbon Bowl, right? Last game of the year, can't hold anything back now. Shout out to Dan Fouts. Coming up here in 2 minutes, we're going to open up the phone lines. We need 3 contestants. This is the game we've been playing all postseason. I believe we had a winner, and I can figure out who during the break. Actually, yeah, it's not here in my notes. I believe we had a winner for choosing Jake Guentzel in the first period, which means somebody's getting a signed puck. Casey might have been his name. Don't quote me on that, though. So we'll be reaching out to the winner from yesterday to make sure you get your signed puck. In the meantime, we need a caller, 3 of them, at 919-860-5326 to tell us who's going to score the first goal of the game for the Canes and in what period they will score. So could be, the example I always use was if this were 2006, you might say Eric Staal in the first. You might say Rod Brindamore in the first. You might say Chad LaRose in the second. That's the kind of format we're looking for. Who is going to score the first goal for the Canes and in what period will they be scoring? As always, if you want to get more specific than that, that's fine. Go ahead. But if you want to keep it vague and just say the player in the period, that's fine also. So the Heaster Automotive Group hotline, we'll go ahead and open it up now. 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. We need, and this is for Game 4. We'll do it again next week for Game 5 if needed. But for Game 4, we are looking for a first goal scorer. 919-860-5326. Matthew in Durham, first on the Heaster Automotive Group hotline. Matthew, thank you for calling in. Who do you have scoring first, and in what period?
I'm going to go with Kuzi in the first period.
Kuzi in the first. What is it about Kuzi that makes you think it's going to be his night?
He's been right there knocking on the doorstep. He scored that very first goal in the first 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that again, like he did in that other game.
All right, Matt, appreciate the call. Sit on the line. Don't go anywhere because Graham's going to have to grab some info from you to make sure if you win, you can get your signed puck. Kuzi is a popular choice. I think people like the creativity in his game. There was one point yesterday where he had a little bit of space and he started doing the back and forth like he did in the penalty shot, but it was in a game, and I thought if he pulls this off, but it got knocked away. Let's go Mark in Goldsboro. Mark in Goldsboro next up on the list. Mark,
hey, how's it going today?
Hey, I mean, as far as our Canes fandom, it's gone better, but other than that, it's going all right. I'm sure you know how that goes.
I do.
Who scores the first goal and in what period?
I'm going to have to put my faith in Aho. I think he's going to come through and start us off and get us going in the game. So I'd say middle of the first period.
Aho in the first, a popular choice. Thanks for calling, Mark. Sit on the line, and we'll get some info from you. I don't know if everybody else saw it. Aho, with the determination in his eyes, walking from the bench into the locker room. The camera just happened to zoom in. My choice, by the way, is also Aho in the first. I think it hasn't hit yet since we've been playing the game. Aho in the first makes a lot of sense. And, again, narrative bet. Sometimes you look into an athlete's eyes and you can see their soul. He looked like somebody that was going to be on a warpath in Game 4 when they – and we have our last caller on the line. Appreciate it. We'll go to Zach in a second here. But when Aho looked up, right, he was looking down. He looked up. His eyes had fire in them. And then he stood up and he walked into the bench. I went, all right, I don't know if the Canes are going to win Game 4, but Aho's going to be laser focused in. So that's my choice, and that's Mark and Goldsboro's choice. Aho in the first. Let's go to Zach and Raleigh. Zach and Raleigh, are you there?
Yes. How are you doing?
I'm like I've been saying. Aside from the Canes, I'm doing pretty well.
Let's go. Game 4 is ours. Game 4 is ours.
From your lips to the hockey god's ears, who scores in the first, or who scores the first goal, and in what period?
I got Skjei in the first.
Skjei played about as good as he could possibly play in Game 3, don't you think?
Yes, sir. Yeah, he's back.
He's back.
I need him.
I like it. He's back. Hopefully that's not like all the Texas football fans that always say they're back after the first win and then they're not. Zach, we appreciate you for calling in. Sit on the line. Graham has to get some info from you. By the way, now that we have our 3 contestants, we have Matt going with Kuzi in the first. We have Mark going with Aho in the first. And we have Zach going with Svech in the first. If you want to get your bragging rights pick in, which we do encourage you to do, go ahead and tweet it at me, at Donnelly Sports. You can send it in right now. If it's a unique enough one, if it's interesting enough, I'll read it on air. Either way, because tweets come with timestamps. If you get it right, we'll try to give you your props, right? We'll try to give you your boasting, your braggadocious on Monday if it does come true. So, again, that's at Donnelly Sports on Twitter. Feel free to send those in throughout the show, and we'll give you your credit. I went with Aho in the first, right? I think, when your back's against the wall, elimination games, I think a lot comes down to your best player, and they have to be the one to be the tip of the spear. I think he looked pretty darn locked in, and I think that's a good sign. Graham, you're producing the show today. You got to make a pick.
I'm going to go D'Angelo first period.
D'Angelo?
Yep, D'Angelo first period. I just want him to get revenge against his former team.
By the way, he was looking for revenge. You said D'Angelo in the first period?
Correct.
All right. He during that one time out, he went over there and was like, I'll fight any of y'all. I actually think it kind of tamped down momentarily the Rangers kind of edge. Like, there's no real way to be the toughest guy on the ice right after somebody on the other team walks up and goes, like, who wants it? And nobody takes them up on it. Obviously, the Rangers brought the juice as the game went along. They got it back. But I'm not always the biggest fan of D'Angelo and the way he plays. But I do understand that he brings some. I do understand that he brings some sandpaper there. All right, everybody, let's just get this out of the way. It's not funny to predict Rangers going to score the first goal.
Is that what's happening? I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh. But.
It's not funny, okay? Drew, it's not funny to talk about the Rangers, Kevin. At Donnelly Sports, the game we play is who's going to score the first goal for the Canes. But I do appreciate you listening, and I do appreciate you tweeting in. Just, all in good fun. You're not going to hear me read your pro-Rangers tweets on air, no matter how funny you think you are. So anyway, if you want to tweet in Canes to score the first goal, you might get read on air at Donnelly Sports, Donnelly Sports. But again, thank you guys for listening and participating in the show. We have real bold predictions coming up next. The best bold predictions in all of sports media coming up.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. The month of May is National Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month, and I'm thinking about all the wonderful weather we're probably going to have this weekend, hopefully. I'm thinking about, cannot wait to get on my motorcycle, enjoy the open road, get out on the motorcycle, get out on the bike, enjoy the wonderful weather. But I'm also, every time I ride, I always think about safety first. Safety is the number one thing. And again, May is National Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. Make sure my gear is properly installed. Make sure my bike is properly operating. Make sure I'm doing the right things out on the road. But if you are injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. The insurance company wants to pay you the least amount possible. Law Tigers, they're riders too. They understand what your bike and gear are worth and what you're going through after an accident. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
The story of the nurse and the foot pain that nearly brought him down.
I
feel like I'm giving people their lives back.
Robert lived to take care of his patients, but he couldn't do it unless he took care of his foot pain.
I have plantar fasciitis. It'll almost put you on your knees. That's how much it hurts.
His own recovery started when he got fitted for arch supports at the Good Feet store.
Now that I'm pain free, I can make these people feel better.
Can't beat that. Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com. A story of first downs and second chances. Meet former pro football player Michael Robinson.
I wanted to keep playing, but my feet hurt.
And all those big league experts couldn't help?
You have access to anything, but none of it worked.
Finally, he got fitted with Good Feet arch supports.
Let me tell you something. They work.
Now, he recommends Good Feet to
anybody. If you move, go to the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store is in Raleigh, Chapel Hill, Fayetteville, and other locations across North Carolina. Visit goodfeet.com to book your appointment today, or just stop by the store nearest you.
It's time for the Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month.
This is Creighton Blackwell from Coastal Credit Union. This month, we're at Fuquay Arena High School with our newest Scholar Athlete of the Month, Kenzie Smith.
How long have you been playing softball?
About 9 years. I played since I was like 10 or something like that. My sister brought me into the sport. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here.
What does it mean to you to be recognized for your work as a student athlete?
It means a lot. Like, I'm glad I'm able to represent the school and the team of what the meaning of the bingo means. Bingo ball is like always something the old coach here, Coach Clark, would say. It's always like, give it everything you got. Whether you're in school, whether it's in life, you just gotta give it everything you got, and I'm glad I was able to represent that.
She's always encouraging. If she's not leading by telling people, she's leading people by example.
She's a quiet leader. Like, she's not necessarily the loudest one. She's not always the one that's going to be barking orders and things like that, but she leads by example in a quiet way.
She had a walk-off hit out here in a huge game, so we found it fitting that for her to have that night.
Kind of brought the team up and then encouraged us to keep fighting for next games that we would have.
But that night was pretty special.
Congratulations, Kenzie.
For 20 years, 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union have been recognizing scholar athletes at Triangle area schools. If you'd like to nominate a high school athlete, head to WRALSportsFan.com, keyword award.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a champion in hockey. When I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers. The best wings on the planet and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price appetizers, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jamesons on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Friday. Before we get to bold predictions, a smattering of the bragging rights submissions for first goal scorer. We have our 3 contestants that are competing for the signed puck. Matt went with Kuzi in the first. Mark went with Aho in the first. I went with that also. And Zach Svetch in the first. Some of the funnier ones, or some of the more interesting ones we're getting on Twitter right now, a lot of Martinook. There's a Coyotes writer, Brian, a couple others went with Martinook in the first. I think Martinook is low-key one of the bigger fan favorites on this team. I think people just like rooting for him. Party Marty likes to get after it, likes to do
Get
some
the party going.
Some of the dirty work. Spoke to the media, like all that kind of stuff is kind of a big deal. So, Martinook, a lot of you are invested in Martinook. Johnny said Chatty. Johnny said Chatty in the first, Chatfield in the first. That's if that happens, you should buy a lotto ticket. That means you're really in tune with the universe if you're calling Chatty for the first goal scorer. Although he's been a little aggressive. He's taken some rips from deep, hoping for deflections and things, but he's been aggressive. Morgan on Twitter says Necas in the first, but guess what? Morgan wasn't talking about the first goal in this period or in this game. Morgan said Necas to score the first goal in Game 7.
Oh, wow.
They're calling their shot that the Canes are going to win 3 straight at least, and then the first goal in Game 7 will be scored by Necas. That's a prediction right there.
I mean, I appreciate the optimism.
Hey, if you're going to call your shot, call your shot. Now, if it happens, you have it in writing, and I've said it on air, so it'll be on the podcast. It is Friday, May 10th, 4:45. We have a submission from Morgan on Twitter that Necas will score the first goal in Game 7. If it happens, we will replay this exact clip on air and call you a seer. You are a prophet. Jason on Twitter says Staal in the first. Think he's been close. I think most Canes fans are out there in the world basically saying anyone as long as the lead is held on to. With that being said, let's get to bold predictions. Bold predictions is simple. We are the only place in sports media that actually has a checks and balances system for our bold predictions. And what I mean by that is I'm going to make a prediction that could be considered bold, and then you will either hear the bold enough bell. When Graham is producing it is the bold enough horn, or the bold enough, or the not bold enough. Let me say this again. Or the not bold enough buzzer. If I get a buzzer, I have to make it bolder on the spot until I get the bell. And that's how we play the game of real bold predictions. I'll start. I don't know if this one's bold. I'm just saying that. But it might be because they're in a no-3 hole. I think the Canes win Game 4. That is bold. See, that's a problem. You don't want it to be bold that your team's going to win.
Well,
but you're down 0-3.
With what they've given us, yeah, kind of have to go with it.
I was hoping I was going to make that more bold because then it's like, right? It's kind of an insult when someone calls you like the greatest underdog, right? When someone's like, it's David versus Goliath, and you're the David.
You don't want to be David.
Wait, well, I mean, I understand David wins, so I want to be David, but come on, man. Couldn't it be like Goliath against Goliath? Couldn't we? Like, it's the Canes win. Is it bold? It's bold enough. Man, even though they win. Next up, Jake Guentzel. Multiple point game in game 4. Not bold enough. See, that's good. That means playoff Guentzel is rolling, right? He's
starting to get activated.
He had 2 goals in game 2. He had a goal again to open the scoring in game 3. So Jake Guentzel, what about 2 goals in game 4? Is that bold enough? Not bold enough. How about this? 2 goals, but one of them is a power play goal.
Oh, there we go.
Canes aren't going 0 for this series in power play goals, ladies and gentlemen. Jake Guentzel is going to get one. Tony DeAngelo, this is my next prediction, by the way. Tony DeAngelo knocks out a Ranger. Knocks out 2 Rangers. Knocks out 3 Rangers. Tony DeAngelo, Rambo style.
I feel like at this point, he could take on the whole team.
He tried to. He's willing to. With I don't know how. I think he'll get ejected before any of this becomes possible.
All right, yeah, that's fair.
DeAngelo, 5 Rangers, knocks him out cold. There you go. I mean, what do you have to lose, right? All right, let's jump out of I'll come back to the Canes for my last prediction, but I don't want to make them all Canes. I think North Carolina, the UNC Tar Heels, get a high-profile commitment from a transfer over the weekend. UNC gets a high-profile commitment from a transfer above 6'10" or taller.
Just because you went so specific with the height,
I think they're getting a 5-man. 6'10" or taller, a serviceable rebounding defensive big. I think if you look hard enough, you can find whatever you need in the portal. It's like a junk drawer, right? You go in there, you got like a charger to your phone that you haven't had in 10 years. There's like a hole puncher for no reason, couple of loose Band-Aids, and oh, look, there's a 6'11" center. That's kind of what the transfer portal is. I just think this is an interesting one in the NBA. We haven't really been following the NBA much. I think the Knicks sweep the Pacers. They're up 2-0. They have this. The Knicks have the weird thing that you can't explain going. I'm a Sixers fan. They just beat the Sixers, so I'm not pleased with them. But every once in a while, a team gets that weird thing that you can't explain, and it's just kind of working for them. The Knicks have that going on right now, and the Pacers have the opposite. Pacers are arguing about refs. And
yeah, I was about to say, they're spending too much time submitting evidence of bad calls.
They submitted like
them.
78?
78.
78 plays to the league saying fouls were missed.
I'm sorry. I might upset some people. That's just one of the reasons I can't get behind the NBA.
Well, just not the Pacers.
Or the Pacers, yeah.
I mean, every team's not submitting 78. That's ridiculous. Like, what do you want? 150 free throws? That's what you think? Like, 78 just means you don't.
Are you trying to take this to basketball court? Is that what's happening?
See what you did there? Basketball court, like justice system.
Wow. I didn't even realize.
Basketball court.
I didn't even realize what I was doing there.
I see, but gosh, 70. That's a problem. I think you should be max allowed to send in 5.
Yeah.
And when I think the max is 5 and you're 78, we got a problem. We'll go back to the Canes for the last one here. Brett Pesce scores a goal. Do you know why?
Because that means he'd be playing again.
Oh, true. Actually, you know what? I didn't mean Brett Pesce. I meant Brady Skjei.
We'll still take it. You know what?
Maybe that is a Freudian slip. I meant Brady Skjei scores a goal because I believe. Oh goodness. But I wrote down and said Brett Pesce, but the whole time I was thinking Brady Skjei. Do you think? I mean, if Pesce comes back to play, I might have to now go on a sportsbook app and bet on Brett Pesce to score an anytime goal because my subconscious is telling me that it's going to happen.
You'll have no choice to.
You said that means he's going to play, and my brain was like, "What are you talking about?"
You were looking at me like, "What are you talking about, Graham?
What are you doing? What do you mean he's?" But of course, Brett Pesce hasn't been playing.
I was sitting there.
I was thinking Brady Skjei.
You made me question myself. I was like, "Did I miss something last night before the game? Like, did I miss number 22 out there?"
And I'm assuming I would have heard Brett Pesce wasn't skating at practice today.
Yeah.
So very unlikely that he plays. That is a bold prediction right there. But okay, did I get the bold enough for Brady Skjei? I think there's going to be a lot of guys that recognize this might be one of their last times in a Canes uniform if they lose. So they're going to, A, want to make a memory. B, even if they win, it might be their last time in PNC, right? Because if you win tomorrow, you go on the road for game, whatever that is, 5. So you'd have to win that one to be back in PNC. So I think there's going to be, some people trying to say goodbye the right way, even if they won't say that out loud. So, maybe a Burns, maybe a Kochetkov. I know they're under contract, but they're expensive and might have to be moved. Just saying.
It's a final Canes curtain call.
Could be. I'm not wishing it. I hope it's not. I hope we see him play again in Game 6. But life doesn't always work out the way you want it to.
Any more?
That's all I got. Do you have any? I'll be the bell and the buzzer. You got one?
Real bold prediction. Honestly, the Canes score a power play goal.
More bold.
Canes score 2 power play goals and a shorthanded goal.
That's bold enough right there. I would have given you just 2 power play goals. You didn't have to throw in the shorty. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The starting 5 is coming up next, including quite a bit more about Canes going into Game 4. What do they have to do? What do they have to change to get the win and avoid the sweep? Coming up.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. One of the things I love about Deep River, it's more than just a place to shoot. Yes, they have the wonderful 65-acre area. They have the target course. They have the wobble deck. They have the target range. So much that they offer, including one-on-one instruction. But if you want to do a bachelorette party, birthday, anniversary, family outing, Deep River Sporting Clay and Shooting School is the place for you. Check that out online, deepriversportingclays.com, deepriversportingclays.com.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Any mayo-based salad is disgusting. There's only one chicken salad on earth that I will eat. Most of them are are too mayo-based. Egg salad is the grossest thing you could ever show me. That is so gross. If you're like, you know what I'm craving? An egg salad sandwich? Sickening.
Tuna and egg gross.
Ugh.
Yeah. Unsportsmanlike.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hit the Grand Slam jackpot with BetMGM. Score a $50,000 bonus bet jackpot when a player you bet on to hit a homer slugs a grand slam. Hey, it's Victoria here for BetMGM, and all you need to do is head over to BetMGM and place a home run prop bet on any of this weekend's games. If the player you bet on goes yard with the bases loaded, you'll win a share of $50,000 in bonus bets on top of your wager. Take advantage of great home run odds, new ways to enjoy all 9 innings with more same-game parlay options and exclusive signature bets found nowhere else. Log into BetMGM and create your account to place a bet on a player to knock one over the fence this weekend. With BetMGM, official sports betting partner of the MLB. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older only. North Carolina only. New and existing customer offers subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
At Ram, all we do is trucks. And now during Ram season, all we do is offer great deals on our trucks, including Ram 2500 and Ram 3500 heavy-duty pickups. Or get a great deal and drive home the 2024 Ram 1500. It's the most luxurious Ram 1500 ever, based on standard and available features offered. Ram 1500 also has purpose-driven technology and advanced safety and security features for enhanced maneuverability. And right now during Ram season, it's the perfect time to get one. Hurry to your local Ram dealer today. Ram is a registered trademark.
Whether this is her first Mother's Day or her 40th, she deserves more. Shop tons of stunning on-trend jewelry for every budget at Diamonds Direct. Diamond fashion jewelry, beautiful birthstones, everyday pearls starting at just $200. Commemorate the real loves of her life with a gorgeous pendant featuring the birthstone of the one who made her mom. This Mother's Day, Diamonds Direct is everything you need to say thank you. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Online at diamondsdirect.com.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest, 919-400-5473.
It's not too late for a deep spring cleaning on your home. Give my friends at Zero Res a call, 919-995-0000. Schedule today and get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for only $105 and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Make sure to mention me, Tim from 99.9 The Fan.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. We do have the chance for a few showers and storms through about 8 o'clock this evening. Some in the southern counties could be strong. Breezy overnight, cooler with a low at 53. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy, cooler and less humid, 74 the high.
Weather update brought to you by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. where you can get a great deal this spring on a new train and heating and cooling systems. Train systems are engineered to keep up with you. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer and learn more. It's hard to stop a train. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones currently up 125 points at the closing bell at 39,512. Market update brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we jump into the starting five, the Charlotte Hornets are hiring Utah Jazz assistant Lamar Skeeter as the top assistant for new coach Charles Lee's staff. Lamar Skeeter is somebody that's pretty much been Jazz, going back to Quinn Snyder's staff. He started as a development coach and worked all the way up to lead assistant for new coach Will Hardy. So he's finally branching out of Utah, coming to Charlotte, where he will be the top assistant for new coach Charles Lee. Solid hire. It's an assistant coach in the NBA. Just thought you might want to know if you're a Hornets fan.
Good luck, Charles.
Good luck.
To quote the vintage Disney Channel sitcom, Good Luck, Charlie.
I've never heard of that show before in my life.
Well, maybe there's somebody driving their kid home from middle school or high school right now.
Did you just call it vintage? What year was it from? What year is this vintage show?
2008, 2009.
So vintage was like me going to college. That's vintage Disney Channel. And there's people out there right now going vintage means they were significantly older than that.
Whoops.
So bold use
starting five.
Bold use of the word vintage there, Graham. Let's get to the starting five. The starting five served up by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Visit gotbrian.com. That's gotbrian.com. We're going to start off with number 5. And number 5 is the power play. Is 5 on 4. Thought that was appropriate. The Canes are 0-5 and 0-5 and 0-5 in the 3 games this series against the Rangers. Now, I said it earlier, like, in this business, you can overthink things. And actually, and in fandom, you can overthink things, right? There's a temptation to, well, if Kuzi would have played 2 more minutes, he might have, and you get really deep into the weeds, right? Steph Nason needs to be in front of the goal, playing in the dirty section, getting greasy, grimy goals. And it's like, yeah, maybe, right? Those things, sure. Seth Jarvis doesn't look like he's playing 100%. I bet you he might be a little hurt, for sure. For sure. But also, if you just score 1 power play goal out of 5 chances in each of the first 3 games, you're probably leading the series 2-1. Like, sometimes you don't need to uncover everything to point to something that could have changed everything. Here's Rod Brindamore on what's missing from the Canes power play.
I think we're just a little off on listen, you got to give them credit. I think that's the first thing you do. They're doing their system really well, and they're knowing when to pressure and when not, and we just haven't handled that the way we normally do. And I think that's really the beginning of it.
Now, I will say this. There's no reason for Rod Brindamore to hint, to even wink or nod in the direction of any changes that they plan on making on the power play, right? Because you don't want to give the Rangers any chance to come up with a counter or to plan for it, right? But I do hope very, very, very openly that Rod Brindamore inside the closed doors of the locker room has more than, geez, they're pretty good at it. I hope there's something that is tangibly going to be changed, right? I don't know if it's changing up Burns as the quarterback. I don't know if it's some kind of tactical maneuvers that the guys on the power play might make, but I mean, Webster's dictionary defines insanity as doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. Yep. Whatever you've been doing on the power play in games 1, games 2, and games 3, if you do it again, expect an offer. Whatever you're doing, the Rangers are figuring out. Put yourself in their shoes. What would give the Rangers, like, Rod Brindamore is obviously a defensive mastermind, right? He's a guru. He understands defensive hockey. How would you stop your power play? What could your power play do that would confuse you as a defender? Try that. I'm not saying it's that easy, right? It's not, or else everyone would do it, right? Or else everyone would just, go, all right, let me put myself in their shoes. Boom, we win. Like, it's not that, but it's kind of that.
Yeah.
I want to be surprised by something that happens when you have the man advantage.
Can't keep shooting at the side of the puck and expecting it to slide past Shesterkin. Got to put traffic in front of the middle of the net.
Fantastic addition to the conversation. We have not said Igor Shesterkin's name enough. He's good.
Yeah, really good.
He's good. And if you're being precious with your shots on the power play, waiting for him to be out of position, waiting for him to give you an opening, it's just not going to happen. You might have to get a little lucky, right? You might have to put it off his blocker and it stays in front of him and somebody cleans up the trash. You might have to get a deflection. The only way to get lucky, the only way to get deflected, and lucky's the wrong way to put it, right? More shots on goal give you more opportunities for deflections. You might just have to kill with volume on the power play. And then be aggressive. Crash the net once you see somebody winding up. Like, get in position to pick up the trash if Igor Shesterkin leaves a piece of trash out there for you to pick up. But you're right, Igor's a beast. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
We are the 4 horsemen.
Speaking of goalies, Pyotr Kochetkov. Actually, Graham, we didn't get your opinion on this. Graham, what'd you think of Kochetkov, a.k.a. Pochetkov, a.k.a. Pyotr, in Game 4?
I thought he did everything he needed to put the team in a position to win. He could have helped 2 goals, which were the shorthanded goal and also the goal where I can't remember who it was. The 3rd goal scored by the Rangers, where it was just a 2-on-2 matchup, and he just let it rip past Skjei, I believe, to let it be a direct line. And
you're talking about the overtime game winner?
Not the overtime game winner.
So then not the 3rd goal.
Yeah,
you're talking about the 2 previous goals.
The 2 previous goals, yeah.
Yes, I mean I don't think there were any necessarily super soft goals allowed. I think he could have done, maybe a spectacular save if we're being nitpicky. He hadn't played in a month. He hadn't played in a month, and he went in and held the New York Rangers, the President's Trophy, the hottest. They haven't lost in the postseason yet. He held the Rangers to 2 goals in regulation. You take that every single time. Eventually, you have to look at your forwards, your attack, your goal scorers, and say, like, guy needs some goal support. I'll actually put it this way. I think he and Freddie have done mostly the same thing this postseason, right? Freddie's bulk of his games obviously had a couple shakes there late, but they're doing enough, right? Pyotr Kochetkov might one day be one of the best goaltenders in the NHL. He's still young. He's 24 years old, still rising. He was a rookie technically this year. Started the year in the AHL. Freddie Anderson is accomplished, and everybody knows what he brings to the table. But, it's not like you have – I'll use an appropriate kind of from last series. It's not like you have Patrick Waugh out there, right? It's not like you have, prime Dominic Hasek out there. Like, you're going to have to score goals. I look at it as kind of, because I kind of filter everything through my own playing career. When I was in college, if the defense gave up a touchdown first, what our offense would say was, what, did you think we're going to win without scoring? Like, yeah, they scored. Guess what? We're going to have to score points. And like, we knew we were going to have to score. Now, the defense just gave up one early. Like, did Pyotr Kochetkov give up goals? Yes. Technically 3 of them, 2 in regulation. Did you think you were going to win without scoring goals? Like, your attack was going to have to find the back of the net. And Pyotr Kochetkov was one of the better players on the Canes last night. His, going back to last year, his postseason experience is going to continuously help him. And last night, I mean, I don't know how that doesn't build his confidence, even though it was a loss. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
Detouring to basketball for a second here. Tulane transfer Sion James committed to Duke. He is a COVID extra year guy. This is the last year where anyone in college basketball can have the extra COVID year. So Sion James has played 4 years of college basketball for Tulane. He will play his 5th year of college basketball for Duke. Do you know what's we didn't talk about this earlier, but I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like I always am, but in all honesty, I did not watch much Tulane basketball last night.
What?
I know.
Tim.
The Green Wave down there in New Orleans.
When they came to Greenwood to play the Pirates, you didn't tune in?
I actually do think I watched like 10 minutes of that, but I don't remember Sion James. So I had to today, once the commitment came in, I had to go try to figure out all I could about Sion James so I could talk about him honestly on the radio and kind of informed on the radio. And I saw the highlight films, and I saw the dunk, and I saw the dunks and the one dunk, the one where he really cocked it back and yammed it on someone. Like, I watched it, and I read about him. And do you know what is overwhelming about Sion James? Everyone at Tulane is wishing him the best.
Wow.
Like, all of
it's rare to see nowadays.
The fans, the media people that cover Tulane, it's all like, hey, he did everything he possibly could. He did everything the right way. He worked his tail off. He improved every year. Happy to see him get this opportunity to go showcase it his final year of eligibility at Duke. And they're all going to be rooting for him. That doesn't happen everywhere in college sports.
Yeah.
That, matter of fact, almost never happens anywhere in college sports. Normally when a mid-major transfers to a power conference school, you see the mid-major just bitter and salty about, nobody wanted you out of high school, and we developed you, and we believed in you.
How did you do this to us?
You could reward, and what happened to loyalty? It was the exact opposite. It was, listen, 4 years, you gave your all for Tulane, and we're going to be rooting for you at Duke. And that probably says more about the person than anything, right?
Yeah.
It says, they're mature. It says they answer questions appropriately. It says that they obviously are hard workers. So if I'm Duke, that's kind of what I wanted out of the portal, right? You're bringing in the number 1 rated recruiting class in the country. You're bringing in a ton of guys that are going to have a ton of eyeballs on them. Cooper Flagg being the most, right? Presumed number 1 pick in the upcoming NBA draft. Not upcoming, the next NBA draft. There's you're going to have days where you step off the bus and eyeballs are on you, and you're going to have days where you want to tweet out something to the haters, and all of these young guys are going to be learning together. Sion James seems like one of those guys who it's really, really good to have in the locker room.
Yeah.
Really, really good to say, you're complaining about this? Let me tell you how I had it my freshman year at Tulane, which is still better than, I'm not knocking Tulane. I'm just saying Duke basketball does things differently. Like, oh, you're upset you only have 1,700 pairs of Kobe's? Let me tell you about what we had to do in Tulane. You can be the keeper of the scrolls.
And I'm sure he'll appreciate the leadership that he's going to get from guys like Tyrese Proctor and Caleb Foster. And he's going to be like, wait, you guys played in the not to put down the American Conference when I say this, but
we're doing a lot of qualifying of no disrespect to Tulane, but it's disrespect to Tulane.
He's going to look at those guys and say, wait, you played in the ACC? You played against R.J. Davis last year? You played against Armando Bacot? What's it like? What's going to be the talent jump like?
Yeah, and I mean that, but also I think part of what Sion James is bringing is once you've played 4 years of college, there's a certain level of I know I belong, right? I know what I can do. Sure, he wants to go test himself and showcase himself in the ACC.
Sure.
But, your freshman year, there are kind of those moments where, you want to, you don't want to, but you kind of want to. You're posting a lot of pictures and everything. You're really excited. Your senior year, it's about the business. And your super senior year, I don't even know what that'd feel like. You're like a pro. You're like an adult. So he's bringing an adult kind of vibe to Duke, which I think will really help. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
Panthers rookie minicamp started today. The next season for the Panthers started today. They were already out there on the field. Jonathan Brooks, for those of you wondering, did not really participate. He was there. He was in uniform. He's still getting back from the ACL repair that he had in November, so he had a sleeve over that knee, but he was there. Matter of fact, all of their draft picks were there. All of them signed on the dotted line, agreed to a contract already, all in, worrying about football. Do you know what was very clear from the clips I saw from minicamp?
So there's some struggling quarterbacks out in the field.
True, yes.
But one of them's not Bryce Young, or none of them are
Bryce Young was not there. The rookie quarterbacks, some would call them camp arms, the undrafted free agents they brought in, struggled. And it's hard to evaluate somebody like Xavier Legette when he's running a route and the ball is – have you ever seen I know you have, but when an outfielder doesn't even move on a home run?
Yeah.
When it's just like – and they just turn and watch it.
He knows.
There's no reason for me to run to the warning track here just to get in cardio. Like this thing's going to land, it's third deck. There were a couple throws from Xavier Legette where it was like, it's not even worth me jumping because it's going up into the third deck. Or it's not even worth me, bending over because it's not going to land at my ankles. It's going to land 10 yards in front of me.
Yeah.
So it's hard to evaluate a wide receiver in that moment. But that's not what I was going to say. The thing that stood out to me is Dave Canales, he's an in-shape coach. That guy was like, are we doing warm-up runs? We're doing warm-up stretching? I'll participate here. He was out there doing high knees with the team. He was out there looking like an athlete.
Setting a standard, too.
Said, get those glutes activated. Fire those hamstrings.
Matt Rule wouldn't do it. I will.
Matt Rule, there was one clip of him doing a defensive line drill. Let me just say this. Dave Canales looks like a better athlete than Matt Rule. I think they should get Dan Morgan out there. Hitting the sled. Tackling dummies. Showing them how it's done.
I've been saying I want dogs on this team. You want to see what a dog looks like? And then just freaks out and just
show him.
Yeah.
Rips his shirt off.
Starts barking at the rookies.
We're gonna do this, by the way. Dennis and I were
bark
talking.
At rookies?
Yes, you have to bark at rookies. You bark at freshmen. You bark at rookies. You make them stand up and sing the fight song. All that kind of stuff. No, I'm kidding. I never barked at anyone in my life.
Yeah, we're not Georgia Bulldog fans.
But he wants dogs. Should they meow? What does a panther do? That'd be weird, right?
There are so many people in their cars right now going, what is going on in the drive with Tim Donnelly?
You just have some veteran. You have like Taylor Moton walking up to a rookie and just going, be strange. But also, rookies can't say anything about it. Go get me donuts. Where was I going with this?
You and Dennis.
Oh, right. So Dan Morgan has made a big thing about the players he wants to acquire. He wants them to be dogs, right? He wants that dog mentality, kind of DAWG, like he wants a dog. We're gonna put together, like we have the Bryceometer, the Her Confidence meter. We're gonna put up. We don't know what it's gonna be called yet. The dogometer, the dog meter, the something, right? Dogometer.
Okay.
Something. Where we're gonna put players up there.
The doghouse.
Something, doghouse might work, and we're gonna rate them throughout the season. We're gonna update it from like Yorkie or Chihuahua all the way up to like Husky or something like that. Where and it's gonna be, is Xavier Legette a dog? Is Jonathan Brooks a dog? Is Jatavian Sanders a dog? Is Deontay Johnson a dog? Like all these new acquisitions that the Panthers have brought in. Are they what Dan Morgan intended to bring in when he was building this roster? So starting today, we're evaluating.
I can go ahead and give you the answer for Xavier Legette. It's yes.
You think he's a dog? What breed? Like how much of a dog is he? Or is he like I've got a
No, he's from Mullen, South Carolina, which is kind of in
I've got a border collie at home. He's a working dog.
The rural areas of South Carolina. So I'm trying to think of like what kind of dog you'd see like on a porch of a summer back road home.
I've no idea, but like the obviously the breeds are not really like, hey, you're a German short-haired pointer, but it's more like just size of the dog. So I guess the biggest one should be like a Mastiff or something. But we'll be rating them just to see if they are the attitude that Dan Morgan wants to bring in. So we'll be doing that. We'll put it together behind the scenes. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1. Canes, Game 4 tomorrow at 7 against the Rangers. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan.
Big one. They're all big ones, but this one especially.
From this point forward, every game's an elimination game. There's no more motivation. There's no bigger game next. There's no, well, if we lose this, we can always win the next. Like, it is pure caged animal, backed into a corner, fight for your season's life.
You've entered the territory of the two words you never want to hear in pro sports, if necessary status.
Yeah, game 5 will be, Monday at 7, if necessary. So sometimes that's awesome. If you're for the Rangers, they love if necessary. For the Canes right now, they hate if necessary. Here's my point. There's no reason to look a single second into the future anymore. I talk about when you're a Stanley Cup or bust team, you do want to think about winning series. You want to think about winning, setting yourself up for big success, right? You may have an assistant coach glancing at the other series going on, so you would be prepared for if and when you face one of those two teams in the next round. All of that, throw it out. All hands on deck, right? Empty your bullpen, save nothing tomorrow. I genuinely don't want to hear fans doing you could win 4 straight. Oh, you could come back. Remember this team that came back from 0-3? I don't want to hear any of that. That's not what this is about. It's about winning game 4. It's about not being swept. It's about having some pride. It's about scoring a power play goal so you don't get shut out for an entire series from the power play. It's about Canes culture and recognizing that Canes culture isn't tested when things are going well. Canes culture is tested when things are going poorly, and you still have to bow your neck and fight back anyway. Here's the fact of the matter, okay? We're in the trust tree. We're being honest. We're all Canes fans here. Even if you win tomorrow, it's still a long shot that you're going to win the series.
Yeah.
Even if you win tomorrow, it's still a long shot. Win anyway, right? Don't go into it with we'd still have to go to New York and win, and we didn't win any games there, and we're not as good on the road as we are at home. No. Win anyway, right? Extend the game anyway. Make it as difficult as you possibly can on the Rangers anyway. Because that's what you do. That's what competitors do. If they every single competitor becomes Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber. So you're telling me there's a chance. Don't tell me how much of a chance. Just tell me I have a chance. And as long as there's .001 on the clock left, I'm going to play till that final buzzer. That's what Game 4 is about. Here's Tony DeAngelo on the prospect of winning 4 in a row.
We've got a tough road ahead of us, but I think we got the guys in here and the belief in here that we're built for it, and we know we got the talent. We've played, it sounds stupid to say, but we played pretty well. Special teams, if you look back, I think in the first round, every team that won the special teams battle won the series. It's usually the way it goes in the playoffs, and you look at the special teams in this series, and that's why it's 3-0. So it's the biggest part of the game. Goaltending, special teams, 2 biggest parts of the game. And we're losing the special teams battle. So something that we think we can get out of. We got to capitalize on one of these things. And on top of that, we got for short yesterday, which is it's a killer.
So win the special teams.
Yep.
We know what it is. We know what it is. Like it's playing a team that does not hide what they do well, and you need to go out and just beat them at it.
Rob Brindamore said it best yesterday too during his post-game press conference, as far as there's 2 games going on right now, and unfortunately the Hurricanes are on the wrong end of one of those games. And he's talking about the special teams.
So he's saying there's the 5-on-5 and then there's the special teams.
Correct.
And the Canes are actually probably winning the 5-on-5 if you look at it in totality, but you're losing the special teams by so much that it's negating the good. And you can't eliminate it, right? You can't
decline it like in football.
I'm just saying you also can't say if you take out the special teams, we're winning.
No, that's part of hockey. That's part of the game.
It's like, if you take out the plays where you gave up a goal, you're pitching a shutout.
It's like in football. Well, if you take out the run game, our offense looks pretty good.
If you take away those 2 80-yard touchdowns, our defense is playing great. It's like, you gave up 14 points. 80-yard touchdowns count. Power play goals count. Not scoring power play goals counts. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the numbers game coming up, the last numbers game of the week, which means it is your last chance to win NF tickets. That's NF. They are coming to PNC Arena on May 22nd, musical act. We have a pair of tickets. If you win the numbers game, you get the tickets. The number to call in to play the numbers game is 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. If you want to play the numbers game, call in right now. We need 2 contestants. It's coming up next.
Game on.
Let's go, Canes!
Go Canes!
Necas left circle, one-timer. He scores!
It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Move to Kochetkov. Burns. Rebound, score! Seth Jarvis.
Let's go Canes!
Verdeen wide open. Rebound. And what a save by Anderson!
The Canes' road to the Stanley Cup runs through us. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle sports leader.
Let's go!
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Alice Brule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. When people come over to the showroom, they see all of these great doors. I'm not saying that this is what you guys specialize in. You specialize in everything, but let's talk some doors.
The doors are a great way to beautify your home. And when you come into the showroom, one of the first things I ask you to do is to open and close the door. It's a big difference. So with the doors, you pick out the hardware, you pick out the colors, you pick out the style. They come in fiberglass, they come in steel. We got multiple glass options. It's a great way to improve your home. It's easy to do. It's affordable. And these doors, a lot of times you go in and out the door 10, 20 times a day. You might open the windows 10 times a year.
Though that is true. By the way, I'm not sure I've ever walked through my front door.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, we use the back door.
The back door is side door. We do those also.
All right. That's Dallas Brule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. 800-672-4348 on Hamlin Road in Durham. AluminumCompany.com. Check them out if you need a door.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall to winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Get ready. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale is coming to the State Fairgrounds May 17th through the 19th. The Car Scott building will be filled to the max with boats ready for immediate delivery featuring Suzuki outboards, shop center console, runabouts, deck boats, bass boats, pontoons, aluminum boats, and more, all under one roof. Boat Show only savings, discounts up to $8,000, factory rebates, and special financing on site. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale May 17th through 19th at the Car Scott building on the State Fairgrounds featuring Suzuki outboards, free admission, and parking.
Hey, it's Meredith in Thesis Jewelers and Garner. Mother's Day is right around the corner, and who else better to shop with than a mother-daughter team? My mom and I have handpicked every item in the store. Some of our favorites is the popular Diamond Flex Bangles, Diamond Hoops, and our Thesis upgradable Diamond Stud program. But all moms really love the Diamond Tennis necklaces. We have them in all sizes and colors. I can assure you we have an unbelievable selection that any mom will love. It's already been mom approved. So shop in Thesis Jewelers this Mother's Day to find that perfect gift she would cherish for a lifetime.
Graham Hill for Underdog Sportsbook. Sports betting has arrived in North Carolina, and Underdog is entering the game. They've been working hard to create a sportsbook app using their own technology for the American sports fan. A simple, fresh experience with straightforward language that fans can understand and design that's just as appealing. The launch version is great, but it'll get better as it grows. This app will be tailored to the user experience, so you'll help shape its future. Your favorite teams, players, and sports are included and are ready to make a bet. The hockey postseason is in full effect. I'm a fan of selecting the over-under on goals, assists, and points, just like in the pro basketball postseason with points, rebounds, and assists. It's that easy. Download the Underdog Sportsbook app on iOS or Android and sign up with promo code HILL. And new customers will get $100 back in bonus funds when they make a $10 minimum deposit and a first bet of $5 or more. That's Underdog Sportsbook. Promo code HILL. Must be 21 plus to gamble and present in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov or call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms, conditions, and restrictions apply and can be found in the Underdog Sportsbook app.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go.
The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's the part of the day where I get to pretend to be a game show host. Today, the prize is tickets to see NF. He's coming to PNC Arena on May 22nd. We have a pair of tickets to the show that will go to the winner of the numbers game. The two contestants for today sitting on the phone lines, Seth in Tarboro and Jeff in Raleigh. So Seth and Jeff. We'll start with Seth, and as always, we have to ask a question, then we pick our favorite answer to see who goes first. Seth, the question on a Friday is always the same. What is the highlight of your sports weekend? What are you most looking forward to? But just keep it sports-related.
Yeah, looking forward to catching some of the NBA playoff action.
All right, who's your team?
I'm riding with the Timberwolves.
All right, I mean, they're looking pretty strong. We'll go to Jeff and Raleigh. Jeff, what is the highlight of your sports weekend? What is the thing you're most looking forward to for the weekend?
Yeah, I'm going to watch the Canes on Saturday and then the Darlington NASCAR race on Sunday.
Are the Canes going to win?
I sure hope so. I'm thinking tall task, but one at a time.
All right, that's good enough for me. Jeff, you get to go first. Wasn't the most optimistic thing in the world, but the answer was correct, I think, under all that. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to give you 4 categories. You're going to pick the one you want to play. The categories are NFL Art Rooney Award winners. Those are sportsmanship award winners. NFL F, all players whose last name starts with F. NBA current players only, or NHL Canes and Whalers only.
Let me do the NFL start with F.
All right. All of these players have last names that start with F. I will give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. You do have 1 pass if you need it. Any last-second questions?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Larry Fitzgerald, Arizona Cardinals.
What was that?
Larry Fitzgerald, Arizona Cardinals.
80.
Incorrect. Devin Funchess, Carolina Panthers.
Pass.
Joe Flacco, Baltimore Ravens.
12.
Incorrect. Larry Fitzgerald, Arizona Cardinals.
81.
Incorrect. Joe Flacco, Baltimore Ravens.
14.
Incorrect. Devin Funchess, Carolina Panthers.
80.
Yeah, this happens occasionally. You're thinking old school wide receiver numbers. The new school wide receivers are all in the teens and the single digits. Larry Fitzgerald with the Cardinals wore number 11. You were up there in the 80s. Devin Funchess with the Panthers wore number 17. Again, you were up there in the 80s. Joe Flacco, a quarterback, single digit. He wore number 5 with the Ravens. Delaware's own Joe Flacco. You were in the teens. So, unfortunately, that's an 0-for. However, by way of going first, if there is a tie, so if we go double 0-for on a Friday, you are the winner by tiebreaker. So sit on the line. We'll see if it holds up, okay?
Sounds good.
That brings us to Seth in Tarboro. Seth, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. A little delayed there. Hopefully you're quicker in the game. The categories remaining are NFL Art Rooney Award winners, NBA current players only, or NHL Canes and Whalers only.
All right, let's go with the Art Rooney winner.
All right, these are all players that have won the league-wide sportsmanship award. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock, and you have a pass if you need it. You need 1 to win. Any questions before we get started?
Now I'm ready to go to this concert.
All right. Call in your shot. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Drew Brees, New Orleans Saints.
8.
Incorrect. Charles Woodson, Oakland Raiders.
21.
Incorrect. Drew Brees, New Orleans Saints.
4.
Incorrect. Charles Woodson, Oakland Raiders.
24.
Correct. Luke Kuechly, Carolina Panthers.
53.
Incorrect. Drew Brees, New Orleans Saints.
9.
Correct. Frank Gore, Indianapolis Colts.
21.
Incorrect. I think I was supposed to go back to Luke Kuechly there. Either way, you got what you needed to. Breeze with 9, Woodson with 24, Luke Kuechly, number 59. I saw people celebrating yesterday as Luke Kuechly Day because it was May 9th, 59. Frank Gore with the Colts wore number 23. You said 21. That is what he wore with San Fran, Miami, and the Jets. But with the Colts, he wore number 23.
Yeah.
Either way, that's enough to win. So you called your shot. You said you wanted to go to the concert. You're going. You get a pair of tickets. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you.
There you go. Sit on the line, though. Graham has some info he needs to get from you to make sure you can get those tickets. I was worried we were going to go 0 for 0 because we had we actually had one hang-up yesterday, and we had an 0 for. So actually, it wasn't an 0 for. I take that back. They did well with the Canes yesterday, so never mind. But it did feel like we may have gone 0 for there. Luckily, we did not, and we go into the weekend with a little bit better vibes. Maybe that's what it takes. A little bit better vibes. Hey, everybody out there. Tim Donnelly here for DraftKings Sportsbook. DraftKings is here for the chase for the cup, right? If you're looking to light the lamp, nothing beats the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. DraftKings has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. This week, all North Carolina customers can place a pregame moneyline bet on Carolina, and if they lead by at least 2 goals at any time during the game, you win. Haven't had to deal with that much this series. But if they get ahead by 2 goals at any time during the game, you win right then, even if they end up losing the game. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's TIMD with no spaces. I'll give that to you one more time. If you use code TIMD, TIMD with no spaces, as a new customer and then bet $5, you will instantly get $200 in bonus bets. That's 200. $200 in bonus bets instantly in your account. That's code TIMD, TIMD, with no spaces, and only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. 1 early win per opted-in customer. Max bet limits apply. Token expires at the start of the game. See dkng.co/ice for wagering, eligibility, and terms. When we come back, we have to make our picks for the weekend, and also, Dennis isn't here. Dennis didn't get any draft picks to me, so we may have to go to the bullpen and call Graham in for Dennis. That's going to have to be an executive decision if we don't hear from him. So we're going to be drafting our players. We're going to be making our picks when we come back right here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or a 2 Bird Dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Bo's Bird Dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Electricity flows through everything. Our movement, our passion, our drive. Ford connected the performance of a sports car with the thrill of an EV to create a pony tuned for exhilaration, engineered to give you an extra jolt of adrenaline. feel something electric. The 2024 Mustang Mach-E SUV. Test drive one today at your Carolina Ford dealer. Available at Ford EV certified dealers only.
Sick of being upsold at gyms?
My guy, you're currently a base member? For $90 more, I can upgrade you to our Shred membership. For $130 more, you'll be a Swole member. And for just $300 more, you'll reach Sweat Platinum.
At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the upsell. Never pushy, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. It's fitness that fits your budget. Join Planet Fitness for just $1 down and $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, May 10th. See Home Club for details.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, we know our members go above and beyond every single day. That's why this Military Appreciation Month, instead of hearing special thank you messages from us, we thought you might want to hear them from your friends and family.
I'm Ben from Navy Federal Credit Union. This Military Appreciation Month, I'd like to shout out to my first mentor, Stephen, from the United States Marine Corps.
Happy Military Appreciation Month. I'm giving a shout out to two of my very good friends for the last 20 years. Jason, Kansas, thank you for your service and carry on, my friends.
I want to give a shout out to my brother AZ1 RG Castillo. Thank you for all that you do for family and country. Happy Military Appreciation Month.
Hi, I want to give a shout out to my friend Colin, who's currently serving in the Army. Thanks for all you do. Happy Military Appreciation Month.
And from all of us here, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 20 or more select self-leveling underlayment. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Visit us for the materials you need. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at Lowe's.com/credit for details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. And Sunday. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Friday. One more reminder. Matter of fact, I might remind you again at the end of the show. You can hear Game 4, Canes-Rangers, right here, 99.9 The Fan. Tomorrow, it is a 7 o'clock puck drop, which means it is a 6 o'clock Storm Watch with Adam Gold. Aftermath to follow the game, obviously. And depending on how the game goes, that can be a very different conversation.
Canes Corner Podcast, live on the Fans YouTube channel as well with Adam Gold.
There you go. There's a lot of different ways to talk Canes. Speaking of our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan, please subscribe, comment, like, tell your friends about it. We are building a community as quickly as we can on that YouTube page, and we want you to be a part of it. We want you to comment. We want you to interact. And, you know, this is kind of a side note, but occasionally we need you to defend us. There were some Rangers fans that decided to infiltrate our YouTube this week, which, I mean, if no one in New York media wants to talk about the Rangers because they're all infatuated with the Knicks and the baseball teams, and Aaron Rodgers threw a pass once, then go right ahead.
Threw a pass once.
Go right ahead. Come on down here, consume our media, but. You know, if they're going to start talking reckless about some things involving the Canes, we in the comment section, we need our Carolina faithful to step up and just keep them honest. I mean, obviously we don't have a big leg to stand on right now. Down 0-3, Rangers fans are going to take their victory lap, but there's a certain level that they should not cross. There's a certain we got to keep them in check a little bit. So defend our honor on our YouTube page. If you see the opportunity, we'll treat it like the airport. If you see something, say something. But that's all happening at our 99.9 The Fan YouTube page.
That's a great way of putting it, Tim.
If you see something, say something. That's all I'm asking.
By the way, this hour of the drive brought to you by the Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombcompany.com. Got to pay some bills while we have the chance.
All right, so here's the deal. Dennis knew he was going to be out. We have our draft that we have to do. We pick 5 players, draft style, and you get points for points, right? You get a point for a goal, point for an assist. Whoever has the most wins that game. Now, Dennis did not communicate with me, so I thought we were going to throw Graham into the mix and just say you're representing Dennis here. However, Graham, you've been informed, you've been coached.
Dennis from the War Room has sent me his draft list from his whiteboard, and it's a good thing, too, because I was going to pick Bradley Nadeau as my first player to score.
He was going to end up with Freddie and Piotr and
Spencer Martin.
Chatfield. So anyway, so I guess you're just going down a list then.
Yes.
All right. I have mine. I have my big board as I always do. Dennis gets to go first because I went first last time.
With the first pick, and who's going to score for the Carolina Hurricanes in Game 4 tomorrow against the New York Rangers. On behalf of Dennis Cox, I select Sebastian Aho, center for the Carolina Hurricanes.
I feel good about this. I feel good about this. So now I have this, my first round pick and my second round pick back to back because we go snake draft. Playoff Jakey, give me Jake Guentzel.
So this means I can't pick a player that you select.
Yes,
right?
I can't pick Aho. Aho is on your team. Like it's like a draft. It's like we're drafting in the NFL draft. So I'm going Jake Guentzel and Andrei Svechnikov. Jake and Andre were the 2 best players on the ice for a good portion of it in Game 3 for the Canes, and I think that momentum is something they can build off of. And I don't know, we're looking at like 2-3 points each.
All right, well,
so you now have 2 picks back to back.
This makes things a little interesting. Second and third round pick for Dennis. I'm going to go Jordan Staal.
Wow.
And then I will also go with I'm going to go with a defenseman. I'm going to go Brady Skjei.
Look at that. I have to admit, you're going a little off the beaten path. We've kind of fallen into a rhythm with these. I like it. We'll see if it pays out for you. The fact that Seth Jarvis is still on the board in the third round is surprising to me. Now, I know we kind of suspect he's dealing with some kind of injury. But, I mean, I can't pass up Seth Jarvis in the third. Go ahead and give me playoff Jarvie in the third. And now I have 2 guys I'm choosing between here. He's been buzzing. Give me Martin Necas. I think his speed could be a factor. So give me Guentzel, Andre, Jarvis, Necas. I have one more pick coming, but first you have a double up here, Graham.
All right, I'm going to go Teuvo Teravainen.
That's who I was going between.
And Jack Drury.
Jack Drury, you're taking his guy. He's not even on my board. No offense to Jack Drury. So there you go. Your team is complete. Aho, Teravainen, Skjei, Staal, Drury. I have Guentzel, Svech, Jarvis, Necas. And you know what? Just because the crowd loves him, Jordan Martinook. Earlier today, we did our first goal scorer predictions, which, by the way, everyone can continue to send to me on Twitter at Donnelly Sports. Who's going to score the first goal for the Canes and in what period? It's just for bragging rights at this point. We have our 3 contestants competing for the signed puck. But, hey, bragging rights are important. So if you have somebody you feel is due for the first goal scoring for the Canes tomorrow, you can tweet it at me at Donnelly Sports, DONNELLYSPORTS. But we did that earlier, and we got a whole bunch of Martinook suggestions. So I'm riding with the democracy here and taking Martinook.
Also, I guess I should say Dennis Cox wants to go with Brady Skjei as first goal scorer in the game tomorrow night. He's actually going to go in the first 12 minutes, and he's going to do it on the penalty kill. That's what Dennis is predicting.
On the penalty kill?
Yes.
Dennis,
I have Tony DeAngelo.
You have Tony DeAngelo, but not on the PK.
Not on the penalty kill, no.
I was like, that would be even more ridiculous. Dennis gets bold when he's out of town. Brady Skjei on the PK, a shorty after giving up a shorty. That's how you fight back.
That's redemption.
I have Aho in the first. There was something about the look in his eye when he left the bench to go into the locker room after the game that made me think Aho is due. And as far as others go, off Twitter, we had a Chatfield in the first from Johnny. We had Martinook in the first. I said we got a bunch of Martinooks. That one came from Brian. Morgan on Twitter said Necas, first goal scored in Game 7.
Okay.
So they're saying I'm not worried about Game 4. I'm not going to concern myself with Game 5. Game 6, of course, the Canes are going to win that. I'll predict Necas in the first goal in the first in Game 7. That's a little bold. It's a little bold. There was a Staal in the first. There's an Aho in the first, a Kuzi in the first, a Skjei in the first. A lot of predictions coming in. But feel free to keep sending those on Twitter to @Donnelly Sports, DONNELLY SPORTS. We talked a lot about the Canes. We talked a lot about them. Do you have a prop bet set up for Make Our Picks? Did I tell you to do that?
No, you did not. But
Okay.
we can come up with some.
All right, give me some over-unders real quick.
Let's go Sebastian Aho over under half a point.
I think Aho goes multiple points. So I'm taking the over. Like I said, there was something about the look in his eye. I don't know if the Canes are going to I'm going to pick the Canes to win, but obviously you're just playing percentages there. I think they're probably winning 60-65% of the time. I think they're the more desperate team and quite frankly they're due. So I think the Canes win probably something like 4-3, 3-2. But I'm much more confident that Aho has a very, very good game. Something about the way he was staring. He's not going to let this team go down quietly. He's a future captain, and he's ready to make a statement. So I think Game 4 is going to be a big one for Aho.
All right, let's go Jordan Staal over half a goal.
I got to take the under here. Aho's
a good captain doesn't go down with his ship.
I think he's going to fire away. I think he's going to. He's creating chances, right? He's been near the top on the team in shots on goal. Igor's been good, and I think it's going to be really tough to find goals. I think part of the problem with the Canes is that their top guys are contributing to goals, whether it's Guentzel, Jarvis, Skjei, Aho, but they're not really getting much from anyone else on the roster, and I think part of that is because Igor Shesterkin's really good, and it takes somebody of high skill and really good ability to beat him. And Jordan Staal at this point in his career, he's one of the 3 best defensive forwards in the NHL, but that doesn't score you many goals. So I think he'll have a good game. He'll do what he does. He'll win some faceoffs, and for scoring goals might not be the move.
All right, this is going to be a little interesting for you, Tim, just because he's kind of gone quiet in this playoff series. But how about Sep Jarvis, anytime goal scorer?
I want to say yes so bad. I really, really like playoff Jarvie. I'm just getting the feeling something's not right. I'm just getting the feeling maybe it's a shoulder.
Got banged up a little bit early on.
Yeah, he took those 2 big hits early on. I'm going to go no. You said goals, right? Not points?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to say he does not score a goal because it just seems like occasionally it's in slow motion. That's not insider information. I don't know anything, but it's just from watching the games, it seems like he's moving a little slow motion when he has the opportunity to fire from that left wing.
All right, just because we've started to see him ramp up a little bit in the last 2 games, Jake Guentzel to score 2 or more goals.
Ooh, I'd see picking 2 goals is just bold. I'll go under. I think if you would have said points, I probably would have gone over. I think he's playing really, really, really well. But predicting anyone to score multiple goals against a Rangers team that's very good, and Igor, again, who I said is very good, is just a little too rich for my blood. I like Guentzel. The more and more I watch him, the more and more I think they have to re-sign him and keep him in Carolina, make him part of the core. But no, I can't predict anyone to have 2 goals.
All right, just because I thought, like I said at the beginning of the show, I thought he played his best episode.
Yeah. What, the season 3 of The Bear coming out in a month.
His best game of the series, and maybe even the entire playoffs and the entire season, Andrei Svechnikov to score or to register 2 points.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think he has a good game. I think his, I'll take 2. I'll go 2. I think he also makes big game. he mows people down. He's physical. I think he can have a really good game and maybe not have the point production simply by using his ability and size. So I give Skjei all the gold stars from last game, and hopefully he keeps it up. That's about going to do it for us here on The Drive. Thank you to Graham for sitting in for Dennis. Go Canes, go Canes, go Canes. Hopefully we're still talking about a season that is alive on Monday. We'll be watching tomorrow, listening tomorrow right here on 99.9 The Fan. Coming up next, we have Overdrive. We're going to start with our reaction to Game 4. A real honest conversation. We started the show with it. We're going to play it again coming up next. Stick around.
You're always close to the Canes with 99.9 The Fan.
They score! Carolina does it again! That's the magic, Andrei Svechnikov!
Count on us to bring you every Canes game night and the latest Canes news from insider Adam Gold. Your official home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Our Cookie Two-Step Ice Cream is a creamy vanilla ice cream with hints of brown sugar, chunks of chocolate cream-filled cookies, and tasty chocolate chip cookie dough pieces. Cookie Two-Step has everybody's taste buds two-stepping, and 1 and 2.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your neighborhood Food Lion.
Sanja loves to bake, but her feet, they were throbbing. Then one day, I found a solution. Arch supports from the Good Feet store. Have foot pain? Good Feet could help.
You too can live the life you love with Arch supports from the Good Feet store.
Hey, Tim Donnelly here. As you know, so much of what makes us a family takes place in our homes. These walls provide an intimate space for all of the small moments that bring us together as a family, the bonds that grow stronger year after year. And like any other relationship, your home requires the same love and attention. That's why I brought in Zero Res to clean the carpets in my house from all of the dust, dander my dog drags in, all of the crumbs my 3-year-old makes, and me too when I'm watching games. That is why you should trust in the power of Zero Res to care for your home. ZR water is tough on stains and dirt while still safe for you and your family and pets. Don't forget about your air ducts as well. This is the perfect time with allergy season, furnace and AC, efficiency, post-winter, and more. Just check out the 3,800 raving customer reviews online with a 4.8 Google rating. Visit ZeroResRaleigh.com to get 3 rooms of carpet Zero Resified starting at just $105 and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Make sure to mention me, Tim from 99.9 The Fan. Zero Res, spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Calling all Caniacs, Carolina Ale House is your official Canes watch party headquarters. Every away game, join the Canes to cause chaos at Carolina Ale House's downtown Raleigh location. Enjoy an ice-cold beer and hang out with the Canes crew and Stormy. With TVs on every wall, every seat is a front row seat. Come get your favorite wings, grab an R&D Storm Brew, and watch the playoffs with us at Carolina Ale House. All Caniacs and all ages are welcome. Go Canes!
free. Who doesn't love free? With My Lowe's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBrian.com. That's GotBrian.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Currently in Raleigh, it is 73 degrees with a high of 80 for the day and a low of 60 tonight. Chance of light rain in the next hour. Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. This Overdrive brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
It's 6 o'clock. Time to shift into Overdrive. All highlights, no filler. As we run it back from the Drive with Tim Donnelly.
Kick up the leaves and the magic is lost. Tell me your blue skies fade to gray. Tell me your passion's gone away. And I don't need no care. No.
Here it comes.
You stand in the line just to hit a
The chorus is the theme here, right?
Yes, it is.
You're faking the smile with the coffee.
It's coming, everybody. We can sympathize.
Go ahead, start wiping your eyes a little bit. Start banging your steering wheel.
Sing along if you want to.
This is what happened when Adobe messes up right at the top of the show. Here we go.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Canes lost in overtime again. The power play was bad again. They're facing an 0-3 hole in the second round of a Stanley Cup or bust season. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be disappointed.
Oh, we are.
It's okay to lash out appropriately. Don't damage any property. Don't insult anybody else. But it's okay. It's okay to be upset. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly. Graham Hill here producing the show. Dennis got an early jump on the weekend, and I'm sure many want to.
Maybe he just didn't want to come in because of the game. Who knows? I mean, I don't blame him.
There's probably a lot of people calling in sick about 10 o'clock last night. You know what? I don't want to go into work tomorrow. And do you know what I'm here for? I'm here to walk back some of the